Welcome to Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today we are answering your YouTube questions. If you are watching this on the replay, we have timestamps down in the description below and at the bottom of the player you can check out to see what's going on here. But I encourage you to sit back and listen to this because you're going to learn a ton about YouTube along the way. But when I say we, I mean myself and my brother from the same mother, the wonderful, glorious D. Nimmin.
I've been called a lot of things in my day. Glorious.
Now it's off the list.
It is off the list.
Yep.
Hope your
so
week.
Just mark that right off of there.
How was your week, everybody? Hope you had a great week. I had a good week, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's rainy season here. I love the rainy season up here in northern Thailand. It's nice and chill, nice and gloomy. I'm here for the gloom.
Yeah. All day.
I'm also here for YouTube news.
Yeah. Me too.
Do we have any?
Me
YouTube
too. What do
news?
you got?
Well, we got some YouTube news. For those of you who are doing reactions to music, apparently there's another apocalypse that has descended upon the music community, where apparently it's become the AI is becoming more aggressive at finding and claiming music channels. There's a lot. Rick Beato and a bunch of other big channels have made videos about it recently. About even though they are using fair use to talk about the music, they're getting claims one after the other, after the other, after the other. It's kind of depressing.
It is.
It is a little bit depressing.
Kind of suck.
Especially if that's you're passionate. You're passionate and you want to share music and talk about music, and you're getting claimed for it. That's tough.
Yeah, it is.
What
Absolutely.
YouTube news do you have? Actual official news?
Yeah, so we've got some YouTube news, some things that people need to know about. So the very first is that viewers can hype at no cost. So if you are in a channel, or sorry, you are in a region where they do have hype activated, it's going to be on by default. And your, let's see here. The option is going to appear on your long form videos for the first 7 days that those videos are public. Next up, we have that YouTube is removing the trending page, but we mentioned that last week. But there's one big one here that I really want to, I'm actually excited to share this one with you.
Like an elephant in the room big one, or like just
no,
like
this is like a pretty big deal.
Like a bigly.
Yeah, this is a pretty big deal. Yeah.
Something that's like a bigly thing.
Yeah, yeah, very large.
Very large.
Very large thing, yeah.
Enormous.
Something that has just like a lot of mass. You know what I mean?
Something that's grande.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
let's talk about that.
Okay, so basically YouTube, they have put out the word. This was 5 days ago that they put this out. So you've been hearing, people talk about just kind of here and there. People mention YouTube's title testing. They put out information here saying that they are experimenting with a new feature to test and compare video titles. We're starting to experiment with a feature that gives creators the ability to test titles as well as thumbnails using our test and compare feature in Studio. We're rolling this out to a small percentage of creators at first, but we'll keep you posted on our plans to expand it to more creators. Now, this is one that I'm personally really excited about, and the reason I'm excited about this is because when it comes to thumbnail testing, thumbnails are just one part of the package, right? So when it comes to getting people to click on your thumbnails, if we can test thumbnails and titles, so we can test the entire package together and see how people are going to respond to that, that's a pretty big deal. Because, sometimes your thumbnail, if you're, doing a lot of thumbnail testing, sometimes your thumbnail is going to be perfectly fine, but maybe your title's hurting the video, right? So because of that, you're going to be able to do it in a way to where it's going to give you more insights on things that people respond to, and just let you know which one, people respond to best, which I think is a huge win when it comes to getting more people to click on your videos, which is what everybody wants.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I agree. That's big.
Yeah.
So do you know when that rolls out to everyone?
Not sure. Right now, they're just doing the experiment. So basically how that works, just to my understanding, is that, they'll have a nice core amount of channels that they're testing it on, and then they'll use that to figure out the bugs and get feedback from the creators and, all of that. And then once they get all of that stuff ironed out, then they'll start rolling it out for more and more people as time goes. But in terms of a deadline, I have no idea.
Yeah, the potential there is huge.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Absolutely huge.
Yeah. Yeah, because like in that case, you can be like, okay, when I, like when I'm publishing this, I want to try, let's take this particular phrase and put it at the front, or this at the back, or let's just do something completely different, but something that would still set a good expectation for the video, but it's a different expectation for the video.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's gonna be great.
How many people struggle with titles? Type yes in the chat. If you struggle with titles with all of your videos. I still struggle with titles. And it seems like no matter how many videos I make, no matter how many videos I watch, and no matter how many things I study to try to learn, it seems like I rarely get the title right.
Titles are challenging.
I always feel like the title can be better. No matter how good, no matter what the video does, I feel like I could have done the title better.
Yeah.
It's like this, like when it comes to creating something on YouTube, if there's one place where I just don't have confidence, it's making titles. It's titles. Yep.
Yeah, interesting.
Yep. And I'm not alone. Look at the chat.
That's pretty great news.
I'm not alone. Look at the chat.
Yeah, it's pretty great news, I think, because
it's not just me.
Yeah,
I'm feeling better.
You're
Now.
like,
You guys are making me feel better.
Good.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's fantastic because it's gonna, just let people get more insight, and then over time, hopefully, it's gonna teach people, how to do things in a way that that people just respond to better. So Lisa says that she's checking in, driving in the car, driving out to the Mourne Mountains in Northern Ireland. Have a safe trip.
Love it.
Yeah, enjoy your trip going out there. That sounds like it might be something pretty that you're getting ready to go look at. So enjoy that. So in terms of additional news,
she had me at mountains.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Dee's definitely a mountain person.
Yeah.
So another thing, just as a heads up for those of you that are using the new Creator app, the update did go live where you now have a option to quickly launch your favorite set of tools right here on the homepage in the app, which is kind of hard to see.
Hard to set mine up.
And then you also have the option now, if you go to your settings, to where you can hit the customize option for your homepage, and then you can customize the items that are on your homepage. So in addition to all the helpful stuff of testing your thumbnails and helping you write better titles and all those good things, and managing your content and all that, you now have those things to kind of help you navigate everything easier and customize it to your liking. Because some people, maybe they're not going to use the content planner, D, and they're like, hey, I don't want to see it there. And you just turn it off. Then there it goes. You don't even never have to see it again.
That was all right. Let's be truthful here. Did you build that because of me? Did you add that because of me?
I didn't.
Okay.
So I actually.
Are you lying to me?
Maybe no.
Okay.
So Playing the Mom Game actually submitted a feedback request on that. Yeah. So she mentioned quick launch for tools, and she mentioned the customization of the homepage.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it. Because he came to me and says I had this content planner, and I said I don't use content planners. I'll use the other stuff, but I'm interested in a content planner. I'm really interested in the title tool. Well, now guess what I can do? I can just open it up and go right to the title tool.
Boom.
Thank you.
So if this is your first time joining us, what we do during this live stream is we answer YouTube questions. So if you have a question about anything you're doing on YouTube, if you go to nickniman.com/ask, that's going to redirect you to the form where we have our questions here. And once you put your question into that form, then we will get it answered here on the stream today. Right now, because I cleared the form just a little bit before we went live, so right now there's hardly any questions at all. So if you have any questions about anything related to YouTube, go ahead and put them in there right now. And Home Wrap Repair says you want producer credit on the feature.
I want points on this one, man. I want points on it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. So we'll go ahead and get into the first question here to get this party started.
Let's go.
D. So it's from Wiggy the Chess Man. Wiggy does bi-weekly content. They do reviews and tutorials. The goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, I'm just a few hours away from hitting the 1,000 hours required in the rolling period. I'm really excited to finally be able to earn some revenue for my content. High five and fist bump to you for rolling up on that milestone. Nice work. It says, since I'm a YouTube premium member, I haven't seen ads on the platform in years, so I'm not sure how the ad experience works from a viewer perspective. It's horrible. I mean, just abysmal. Like if you're somebody that doesn't have YouTube Premium, you can probably chime in on this. But the non-premium ad experience on YouTube is just I don't know how people do it. If I'm honest, I really don't. But they say once I hit the requirements, do I need to manually enable anything for ads to appear in my videos, or does YouTube handle that automatically? Yeah, you are going to have to turn it on. And if you do have control over ad placements, is there a best practice for where and how many to include? For example, only at the start, once per X minutes, or avoiding too many mid-rolls to balance revenue with a good viewer experience. Thanks for all your advice. It's been a huge help in my journey so far. So when it comes to the control over ads, you do have a little bit of control. So you can say I want ads on or off, per video. You also have the option to add mid-rolls or not, as long as the videos are long enough. So when it comes to ads going into your video and when it comes to the mid-rolls that people are going to see, One of the things that is important to remember is that YouTube has like a tolerance for each viewer, at least so they say. when you use it in a non-premium experience, sometimes you'll get like, 3 ads in a row or 2 ads in a row. But, I guess they detect that, you're going to take that abuse. But basically when it comes to ads, the way it works is, like when somebody goes into your video, let's say that they see an ad there, there's going to need to be some time that goes by before they get hit with another ad. So because of that, let's say that you had, 2 ads, after they came into the video, then in that particular case, they're not necessarily going to see those ads, even though that you have them there. But once YouTube's system is like, hey, this spot right here would be a good place to show it to them, then in that particular case, then they will show them in that particular area. Other things as well is when you are adding the ads, YouTube is going to give you feedback on if that's a good place to add ads or not. And then, you can take that information based on their recommendations and what their AI is figuring out by looking at your video and use that to also find good placements for your ads in your videos.
I feel like we should be compensated by YouTube for recommending YouTube Premium so much.
Oh yeah. I think they should be like, hey guys, let's go ahead and hook these dudes up with some like free premium accounts.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't stand for many things, but I will stand all day long. I will get behind YouTube Premium. I'll fight for it.
How much they paying you?
I will fight for YouTube Premium.
Right.
Yeah, totally worth it. Worth every. I mean, it's just like what what are you paying now? $20 a month.
Right.
They raised the price. I don't know what it is now.
Yeah.
But it's totally worth it.
Yeah, it is. If you respect your own time, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
And your own entertainment experience, then it's worth it.
Yeah. Nothing drives me crazier than
except for me.
Because if I'm not logged into the account that I'm paying for, because I'm working on something else or whatever, and I foolishly didn't set that up under my main account by mistake, and I'm in that account and I'm trying to just listen to music or something, like I want to listen to this on YouTube, and like an ad plays like every 3 minutes.
Yeah,
just kills the entire experience.
It does.
Yeah,
it just kills the vibe. All that stuff.
Yeah. Get YouTube Premium. Not being paid to say that, but I would take money to say it.
Yep.
Renee, if you're listening, if you're in here already, just let people at YouTube know I would take money to say that.
Yeah, Wiggy says they went premium during COVID and never went back. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Brian G. Johnson's in the house.
Brian G. Johnson, what's up, my man? Hold on, got a little soundbite here for
Brian G. Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah, it's playing. Oh. Yeah, we just can't hear it because we don't have headphones on. But they can hear it.
Okay.
What's up, Brian G? Brian G is the author of Tube Ritual, Volume 1. It's this book right here. You can find this on Amazon. This book will help you grow your YouTube channel to 5,000 subscribers and more. Check it out on Amazon. It's called Tube Ritual. He also has an amazing Facebook group as well that is for content creators. It's free. So if you are on Facebook, then definitely look for Tube Ritual on Facebook as well. What's up, dude? Hope that you are doing fantastic. He says he just published a video yesterday on Premium Light versus Premium. Great value. Absolutely.
Brian is uploading so much these days.
He's a machine.
Every time I open up YouTube, I have a new video for Brian G. Johnson sitting there.
Yep.
Every single time I open up YouTube, new video of Brian G. Johnson.
Yep. Are you watching them all?
I watch some of them.
All right, good.
Yeah, I'm never the person, because I don't want to be the person responsible for like clicking off. So I only click into somebody's video.
You're like, I'm going to commit to this for however long it is.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
And Brian's like, I'm going to upload a 22-minute video right now.
Come on, dude.
I was like, come on, man. So, okay, so I got to tell you how my evening usually winds down.
Okay.
And a lot of times it winds down with Brian G. Johnson. Brian, you don't know this, and I'm not trying to make.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be comfortable with where this is going.
I'm not trying to make it weird, but I'm just going to let you know how I wind down my evening. So the way we do things at our house is I do dishes. That's I've taken the responsibility to do dishes, and I actually enjoy doing dishes. It's a little bit of a zen moment. So I go in there, and the way our counters are set up, there's a counter directly above the sink, and it has a little lip on it that my phone sits on perfectly, right at the right angle, and it's got a little edge so it can't fall off. So I put the phone on there.
I bet I could make it fall off.
And it takes me about 15 minutes or so to do the dishes, unless we have a lot of pans and stuff like cooked heavy. And Brian G. Johnson is one of the channels. He's one of my go-tos. Oh. So I'm like, I have a lot of dishes. Let's see if Brian G. Johnson has a long video for me to watch.
Oh, okay.
And then I put Brian up there, turn the phone sideways, hit play, turn it up, and I'm doing dishes to Brian G. Johnson.
Nice.
And then when I'm finished, I take a shower, go to bed.
Nice.
So Brian D.
Beanie's
Johnson
doing dishes right now.
See, there you go.
Yep.
So Brian is one of the last people in my mind.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I go to bed.
Good. You hear that, Brian?
Yeah. I didn't want to make it weird.
Rattling around in that void. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Yes.
That was mean. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
All right, so let's hear. So next up on our...
See, Doug too. So I'm not alone.
Yep.
Doug says, D, same. Dishes watching YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, listen. There's something about doing... Who loves doing dishes? And then I know...
I like ironing. That's my thing.
Okay, that's your thing.
Yeah, I like ironing. It's so peaceful.
It's okay.
Yeah, love it. And just watching the wrinkles just kind of slowly go away from everything. Like, I absolutely love ironing.
Ironing.
Yeah.
So you're an ironing person. For me, it's dishes. For me, it's dishes.
I don't iron as much as I would like to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have a dishwasher over here. You have a dishwasher.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
I'm the dishwasher. But I just love, there's just something zen about doing the dishes. I don't know what it is. All right. Sidetrack. We're back.
Yep. All right, here we are. So next up on the list, Lisa Dawson uploads when she has time. Been on YouTube for 1 year or more. It's a music channel. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what she likes. And the question is, in my live streams, I play piano and sing live. I don't get many viewers live, but I do have a core group of people who always show up, and they always say they like to come for the chat in the community and banner. My question is, after the live stream is finished, should I edit the video and take out all the talking and just leave the music with no gaps? I think me talking and interacting with the chat affects the watch time after, but I don't want to lose the views on the video. I don't really get many views in general. What would your advice be? Is it better to leave the talking in or edit the video so the replay is better? So I think that's going to depend on how you're packaging your videos and the expectation that you're setting for people when they come into the replay. So give me 1 second here. I'm just going to take a quick gander at your channel and just kind of see how you're packaging things up.
She is doing cover songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
let's hear live piano, music, singing, and a few carols. Carol sing along at the piano. Traditional folk songs with harp. Yeah, so in that situation, if I clicked on any of these, I would expect to hear the music. You know, if you had just like a quick introduction or something like that, like I would be okay with that because I listen to a lot of music on YouTube. I would be okay with that. But if there was a lot of back and forth with the chat and things like that to where it was going to be interruptive for me for listening to the music, then I would probably abandon that video on the replay pretty quick. On the flip side of that, if I was really into the content and was hanging out in the live stream and stuff like that, then I would love that side of things. But for the replay, me personally, I would expect to start hearing music relatively fast when I came into this content. So because of that, for the replay, I would consider it. One thing that you can do though, because that's my personal experience, but you can see how people that are interacting with the content are experiencing it. So what you can do for this particular scenario is you can go into your audience retention reports and just look for those areas where you're doing a lot of talking and then just see if you are negatively impacted by that so that you can, make the decision based on how people are responding to the content. But me personally, as somebody that does listen to a lot of music on YouTube, I wouldn't click into it for the banter and all of that. I would click into it because I'm sitting there on my computer working on something and I'm looking for some music to play. And that means I don't want to spend a bunch of time looking for music, but YouTube is recommending this thing to me and I click on it and I would hope to hear music relatively quickly. Any additional thoughts there, D?
I think you need to experiment to see what your audience is coming in there for. I would try starting with the music and then put in any commentary at the end of the music and see if people hang out. Right? Because I'm the same way.
Well, this is for the replay.
For the replay.
Yeah, so basically she live streams, and as part of her live stream, she does have like a core community that likes coming in. They like the banner, they like the community aspect. But after the live stream is complete, she's just curious if it's going to be hurting the replay value of that stream, essentially. And if she should go in and use YouTube's editor to cut it out.
I don't know. I would try it. I mean, I would still put that at the end. I would either do banter at the beginning and then get into the music and do banter at the end and then cut off the beginning. So then people who are interested in the music can just come straight to the music. And then if her core community knows that there's going to be something at the end, they can hang out to the end.
Yeah, and then they can also use it as feedback too. Like, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
I would you need to test it out, but I would definitely cut off the banter at the beginning.
So legal-minded Carol here mentioned a good kind of mentioned a good possible kind of middle ground there in terms of using chapters. For me, if I'm clicking on a music video on YouTube and I'm expecting to hear music, like I'm not looking for chapters or anything, I'm expecting to hear music almost immediately. For me personally, but for other people, they might be okay jumping into the chapters. But for me, yeah, I would definitely want to hear I would definitely want to get into the music as fast as possible.
Yeah,
definitely something to experiment with, though. Experiment with chapters, see how people respond to that. Experiment with doing it in reverse, like Dee's approach, and experiment with cutting a few down, and just see if you find that there's a version of that people respond to better.
Yeah, and since you're trying to get replay value, and your core community, they've already hung out with you in the live stream. Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to attract new viewers with that replay, cutting off the beginning banter would almost be, that would be the first thing I would test. Mm-hmm. And if you find, look at your audience retention, if you find that these people are leaving when the music is over, then I would trim that off too, so it doesn't actually hurt your watch time on that long-term for replay.
Yep. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
So next up on our list here, we've got Beanie Draws in the house. What's up, dude? Hope you're doing great. And Beanie does drawing dinosaur content, and but it's still generating views to this day. It's the power of YouTube, right? Says, but the description and links weren't optimized. If I update old description on videos performing well, is it likely impacting the video at all? I'm wanting to add new affiliate and other relevant links, but not impact its discoverability, etc. Cheers for all the knowledge that you've shared with us over the years. Yeah, so on that, I wouldn't mess with any of the core information of that video in terms of the top part of the description. I wouldn't mess with that. I wouldn't mess with the title because people are currently responding to everything as it is. But if you do need to update some affiliate links and that kind of stuff, then you'd be okay there. But I wouldn't mess with any of the core, the core things like your title, top part of the description, things like that, that are already working well for you. Next up, CNT Live. My pleasure. Glad that you are enjoying and share this video. Appreciate that. So next up, Cathay Fit. What's going on? Hope you're doing great.
Hey.
Let's see. We've got Steph. Work Less and Live More is the name of the channel. Uploads 1 time per week or more. Type of channel is YouTube, helping 35 plus folks start a YouTube channel. And let me go down here. And the question is, do you recommend premiering videos? What is the benefit if there is any? So premiering videos can be a really good thing to do if your viewers are, excited about that video that you're going to put out. If you are premiering videos just for the sake of, premiering it, and you don't have a core group of people that would be interested in hanging out during that premiere, it's not going to do much for you. But if you do have people that are regularly coming back to the channel, you have a lot of regular viewers. When you publish videos, you have people that are coming in there immediately. Then in that case, that's a good scenario to where if you wanted to experiment with premiering content that you can. But when it comes to premiering videos, the benefit is that when people are participating in a premiere, a lot of people do hang out during that premiere. And, that's just a great way to kind of jumpstart a video in terms of, people interacting with it, giving that are hanging out for the whole thing and that whole scenario there. So definitely something you can experiment with on your channel. Just make sure, again, I wouldn't do it unless you have, some a good way to do that. Next up, we got Hope's Homemade Kitchen is the next channel here.
Homemade Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Sounds like she's making some good food there.
Yeah.
Does cooking content. The goal of the channel is to teach others. The question is, what is your first impression of my channel, and can you give me any immediate advice on my thumbnails and titles? Do you think doing live videos is important for channel growth? So first, when it comes to live videos, so, if you are trying to create community and things like that, live streams are great for that. If you're trying to create some type of unique experience that's a little bit more challenging in video content, it can be great for that. But live streams definitely have their purpose. But what you want to think about when it comes to live streams is how does that fit into everything else it is that you're doing, right? Because when you are live streaming just for the sake of streaming, then in that case, there's no real reason to be doing it outside of hey, I'm just trying it out. But if you're okay, I'm going to be live streaming so that I can offer this to the people that are interested in my content, then in that case, you have a nice clear reason that you're live streaming for. You have some nice value that you can attach to that, and then you're streaming for an actual purpose, right? And in terms of your YouTube channel, let me just pull it up here really quick and see what you got going on.
You pull one up?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's do it.
Yep.
Are you adding it, or want me to add it right now? I got it.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay. So Hope's Homemade Kitchen weekly step-by-step videos.
Goulash.
Okay, that's good. Definitely, pretty clear that it is about cooking food. So first impression-wise, I think this is good. One thing that you might want to do, I mean, this is fine. This isn't going to move the needle. It's not going to make a big difference, but I'm a big fan of clarity when it comes to somebody landing on your YouTube channel and trying to figure out what's going on. But like in this area right here, oops, hold on, let me get my stuff on here. There we go. In this area right here, you have Welcome to Hope's Homemade Kitchen. And then here you've got Hope's Homemade Kitchen, Hope's Homemade Kitchen, your handle's Hope's Homemade Kitchen. So this might be a good opportunity here to mention something like, you say here weekly step-by-step videos, so you don't need to repeat that, but saying something like, teaching you how to make, the most delicious meals. Like, I don't know what your full value proposition is, but, delicious home cooked meals on a budget, or, whatever the thing is. But basically putting, that there would just give you a more opportunity just to add clarity to what it is that's happening on the channel. In terms of the thumbnails, I think that you are doing good with focusing it on the food, but I do think that it would be advantageous for you to watch some videos on like processing photos, because there's little details here that I think are kind of working against you a little bit. And that is, and it's not going to be a huge deal, but some people, do see this type of thing. But the first thing that I would do is I wouldn't put, in 2025, I wouldn't put the, man, did I close that off again? I did. I wouldn't put the little branding watermark that you have on there. I wouldn't worry about that right now. The thing that I would focus on right now is trying to, just add clarity, get more people clicking on your thumbnails, writing titles, that kind of stuff, instead of, worrying about that little watermark that you have on there. Back in the day, we used to recommend that, like, yeah, hey, you should, put that on there. But in 2025, it's a little bit different. Like the goal is to get it to where you have nice, consistent view counts. You have people coming back to the channel on a regular basis and things like that. That's where if you want to add some type of subtle branding or something like that, it can be advantageous, but you can also do it in other ways. So for example, if you look at your thumbnails here, you can see how you have different fonts on pretty much every thumbnail that you have, right? One way that you can create a branded look without having to put your actual logo on it is by having consistency there. But when it comes to the photography, like I was talking about, if you look at this thumbnail over here, and we'll just make it bigger. So if you look at this thumbnail, you'll see that at a small size, anyway, it actually looks better when it's bigger. But at a small size, like, it looks a little bit like overly warm, and like the white balance seems like a little bit off. Again, it's not going to be like a gigantic, issue that you're dealing with, but those little subtle things can make your content from the outside be perceived as higher quality content. Like this one down here, I think this one's great, right? It looks like the color's like nice and clean on this one. The text though, because one of the things that you were talking about was your thumbnails, is right here. Like, I would just focus on the food itself. Maybe if you're going to put the text on here, have that, but I wouldn't do these extra things. Like up here, you have like wine, liquors, carbone. Like, I wouldn't worry about adding those types of things, because it's taking away from the instant understanding of what's going on, because you're kind of adding things that aren't really necessary to it. And I see that you also have that Carbone's famous spicy recipe, or rigatoni at home. But I don't think that you need to have that up here in your title, right? Because it's kind of distracting and pulling attention away, especially with it being red up there. So I would just try to do what you're mostly doing already, which is just putting a really strong focus on the food itself. And I would also, I don't think you're testing these, because this tool that I'm using, when I click on this button, usually if somebody's A/B testing their thumbnail, it'll show like a smaller version of the thumbnail first. And if that is accurate for your channel, and as long as everything's still consistent with the tool, then in that case, I would also do things so that you can just get a better understanding of your viewers and what they respond to better. I would do things where I do. One of my thumbnail tests would be to where I just have a nice, great looking picture. I've got, maybe the sharpness turned up on it just a little bit to make it look even more delicious. And I wouldn't have any text on there. I wouldn't have a branding watermark on there. I wouldn't have it like the tablecloth looking thing that you have here. I would just be like a nice, clear, good photo of the food. I would have that as one of the tests. And then I would have another test where you have the, text on there as well. But when you are using text, one thing just to keep in mind is, like here, you can see it. And if you, look at it, you can, figure out what it says. And it's not really hard to read, but because it is an outline instead of just being like a solid color text, you could just change that to like one color and not have the outline on it, and that would make that pop, a little bit more. So, maybe watching a few videos on just, like how to, make photo 90% there in terms of the photos, but just some minor tweaks there. And I would also, get a consistent look for your thumbnails in terms of if you are using text, what text that you're using. And then I would be A/B testing your thumbnails as well to see what's going on there. And then see your Kung Pao chicken in 30 minutes, quick and easy dinner recipe. Yeah, that's good. Comfort food classic, easy American goulash. Yeah, that's okay too. Yeah, another thing too is when it comes to titles, and this is really challenging, and Dee and I were talking about this when the stream first started, in terms of just titles, being challenging. So when it comes to isn't anything about any of this that kind of makes you be like, oh, I gotta check that out, right? So when possible, trying to figure out things that can make it a little bit more compelling or make it kind of stand out. So for example, this one is, comfort food classic, easy American goulash. And, with that, to make it a little bit more compelling, it could be something like, you've ever tasted or something like that. And then by making that small tweak, it just makes it more like, oh, okay, well, I can feel kind of challenged now, so let me see what this is about and see, if it might be good. So when it comes to the titles, I would work on trying to figure out how to make them a little bit more compelling too. Do you have any feedback, Dee?
My feedback is just from a graphical standpoint in terms of the actual images themselves. I agree with everything that you said. Simple text, choose a couple of words. And I don't know what you're making this in. I don't know if you're making this in Photoshop, Canva, or if you're doing it on your phone. But if you're doing it in Canva or Photoshop, you can go in and adjust the brightness and contrast and the saturation and the vibrance to make your images stand out a little bit more. You don't want to overdo it because it's going to look unnatural, but it will make them pop just a little bit more, make them a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more colorful. I have a couple of videos on my channel using Snapseed, which is an app for your phone that's free. And I have another one using Adobe. Either one of those work. It's Adobe Lightroom. But with Snapseed and Adobe, if you want to use the Snapseed version, you can go in and you can choose specific colors to add vibrance and saturation to specific colors and specific areas. And it's really easy to do. So if you want the yellows to stand out, like, okay, this picture looks good, but if these red peppers and the celery, that's what it was, if those could be a little bit more vibrant and eye-catching, it would make the overall picture look better. You can highlight those colors and boost the saturation on certain colors. I think that's the only thing that you're missing is that pop, that wow factor with the food itself. And again, you don't want to go overboard, make it subtle, but those subtle tweaks, adding a little bit more color, can be the difference between catching somebody's eye or not. And keep it simplified. Simplify the thumbnail, make it more colorful.
So this right here is an example, and actually comparing to this one, it looks like your colors are actually okay, but I would definitely, try to just kind of make it just maybe a little bit sharper. Just a little tiny tweak there. But
small moves, Ellie. Small moves.
Right. But one thing I want to bring to your attention, though, just comparing it to another video on the same topic that has a bunch of views on it, is if you look at this compared to what it is that you're doing right now with your thumbnails, is over on the right-hand side, it's just a nice clear focus on the dish itself. The dish, it looks like it was set up, kind of maybe for the photo a little bit. But this is just nice, clear, simple, easy, to see and understand at a glance. Where yours, you have, the text on there, you have this little watermark down here, you've got this panel over here.
It's
cluttered. There's just a lot of stuff going on there versus here's a nice, clear focus of what it is that's behind this video.
Keep in mind, anytime it comes to graphics, and this applies to anything, you have to make sure that the viewer's eye goes to the right place.
Yes.
And since you are showcasing food, the only thing that should be getting the first thing that should be getting my attention is the food, not your logo, not the text. You already have the text in the title. You can put the text on here, but get it off the food. Your food should be the first thing that gets my attention. And again, the thumbnail on the right from another channel, is this video doing well?
It's got like 100 and something thousand views.
So 100 and something thousand views on it. All it is an image. It is a clear image. You know exactly what it is. and then the title would reinforce that.
Yeah.
But if you are going to put text on it, don't cover the food.
Yeah, one thing, and I can't encourage you enough to do this when it comes to, like figuring out if what you're doing with your thumbnails is the right thing or not, and this is for everybody, is trying to pull your thumbnail up, kind of like we're doing right here, is you pull your thumbnail up on one side in one browser window, or you download it, whatever the thing is, and then you upload, or, not upload, but you pull up a competitor thumbnail that's making the same type of content. And then you just look at them and you're like, okay, how clear is this? Are they just using any type of distracting elements? Is there like a clear focus on, the subject of the video? Is it big and prominent? Like, how exactly is theirs different than mine? That can be really helpful for, just kind of helping you see things a little bit more clearly when it comes to, getting everything going well.
Yep. Small tweaks. Mm-hmm. You're most of the way there, though.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Hope
just got the rundown.
All right. Say what?
She just got the rundown.
Yep. So hopefully that was helpful. So next up on the list here.
Really quick, I just want to say that applies to everyone.
Yeah.
Don't clutter your thumbnails.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to use text, don't overdo the text. Make sure it draws the viewer's eyes in the right direction. If you ever want to bounce it off of someone, just show it to somebody else. Yep. What's the first thing you notice when you see this thumbnail?
Yep.
Don't let them think about it. Just what do you notice? Mm-hmm. And if they need to tell you in a split second.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm not sure. What's this video about? Mm-hmm. And if they can't tell you in a split second, then you probably didn't do a great job.
Yep. So next up on the list, we've got JJ the Lonely Bull in Asia. What's going on, man? Does travel content. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what he likes. And the question is, I've been doing weekly live streams that usually last between 2 and 3 hours. What is the best and cheapest software that can result cut those 3 hours into several shorter long form videos? Opus Clip. You definitely, we got Opus Clip sign right here on the front of the stream. So Opus Clip is absolutely amazing. So if you have long form content and you want to cut it into a bunch of shorter videos, either vertical or landscape, Opus Clip is a great solution for that. I would say they're the industry leading solution in that. And the reason that they are the leader in that is because a lot of the other tools, they are just looking at your transcripts, and that's all they're doing. With Opus Clip, just because of the funding and all that stuff they've got that's allowed them to do this, their system actually sees your content, it hears your content, and are better than the other results or the other systems that are out there.
I'm being told that our audio is cutting.
I saw one person mention it, but I didn't see any more.
Okay, I'm going to...
Beanie, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm going to look. I'm getting a notice here as well.
Oh, you are inside of StreamYard?
It says connection is unstable.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
I'm going to do what I do. I'll be back. Cover me. I'm going in.
I did just actually see you jump right there on the screen.
All right. I'm going to see.
Yeah, it's more of a stop delay than an audio delay.
All right.
Yep. So do your thing, D. So, and by the way, just went offline, but not really. Hold on. If you are seeing this video because we are having technical difficulties, which means right now, while you're watching this, we are frantically running around behind the scenes trying to get everything either turned back on or trying to get something connected or trying to fix whatever seems to have happened that did cause us to lose signal or cause the tech to go down or whatever the situation happened to be. So please be patient. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Thank you for your patience. If you are seeing this video because we are having technical difficulties, which means right now, while you're watching this, we are frantically running around behind the scenes trying to get everything either turned back on or trying to get something connected or trying to fix whatever seems to have happened that did cause us to lose signal or cause... All right, I think we are back now. And we should be good. If not, definitely let us know. Yeah, we could be having some internet issues here. If so, I got all kinds of fun stuff to play, in the background while we're working on stuff. So it's okay, I guess. But So yeah, like I mentioned though, if you are just joining us, we have if you go to nickniman.com/ask, it's going to redirect you to the forum where we're pulling these questions from. So if you have a question about anything it is that you're doing on YouTube, nickniman.com/ask, it'll take you right to this forum. Drop your question in there, and then we will get it answered on the stream. Homekeeping channel, what's going on? Hope you are doing great. Monique, nice to see you in here. Okay, so yeah, so they're saying that no lag now, so we're good.
Live happens.
All right.
Signal is stable, but D is not.
So yeah, right. So next
Thanks,
up,
JJ. I appreciate that, man.
So next up on the list, this is from Sun and Stars, is the name of the YouTube channel. They upload when they have time. They do a mixed type of channel. The goal of the channel is to make money, and the question is how to be successful as a YouTube blogger. It's a really good question. So when it comes to being successful on YouTube,
vlogger?
Yeah, they probably meant vlogger. So when it comes to YouTube, hey Ty, what's going on, dude? Hope you're doing great. So when it comes to having a successful channel on YouTube in any type of content, it usually comes down to the content creator taking it seriously. A lot of people that look at it like if you're trying to have like a successful YouTube channel and you're trying to like do the thing, a lot of people will do it as a side thing as well. But if you want a successful channel, it usually comes down to taking it seriously. One of the things that you'll see all over the internet is people are like, hey, just make videos about things that you care about and just kind of do whatever you want. And then, it'll just magically kind of work out for you. In some cases that does happen, but in most cases, the creator does have to be intentional about what it is that they're doing. They have to, kind of narrow things down, because one of the things that you mentioned here is that you're doing like mixed types of content. So because you're doing mixed types of content, if that content is out of alignment to where you have a certain group of people that are enjoying, the content that you're making, but then you are also making some of this other content and it's out of alignment with things that they're interested in, then it's going to be really hard to, get things moving for you, because, you're not giving them consistent content around things that they care about, right? So it makes things challenging. But taking it seriously, working on your skill sets is also important, because when it comes to this, there's just tons of moving parts, a lot of different things that you need to get a handle on when it comes to a YouTube channel, in terms of the content that you're making, the decisions that you make around the topics of the videos that you're publishing, how you title those videos, making the thumbnails themselves, and everything it is that you're doing inside of the video content itself is also, really important. But basically, just taking it seriously, learning the skills around it, because those two things by themselves will help you take a different approach, and it will also help you be able to just kind of identify where you are deficient in certain things, so that you can just actively start working on those things to get better. But rest assured that once you do get your content to a level, if it's not already, once you get your content to a level to where people do respond to it at a competitive rate, then in that particular case, it's like you still have to keep learning and developing skills and like all those things. But all it takes is like, a few good videos to get you off to the races, in terms of, hey, these videos that I put out, a lot of people are liking these videos and they're continuing to bring viewership in because these videos are really good. And because of that, when I publish new videos, I've got people that are coming in and watching those, because I have all of this, all these people coming in from these videos that are kind of driving the channel. So just kind of hang in there when it comes to that side. And also just keeping at it is another thing that's really important. So, a lot of people will start a YouTube channel, and when they start that YouTube channel, they will have this expectation that they're going to publish a video and it's just going to blow up and they're going to go viral and all this stuff. But that's a really rare occurrence on YouTube, of publishing like your first video, your first handful of videos, and your channel is completely blown up. It happens, but it's a rare occurrence. So the typical experience is you publish videos, they don't do that great, and you have to figure out why they're not doing that great, and you have to work on your skills along the way and learn stuff about YouTube and your audience and making content and all of those things that go along with being a content creator.
It's a process.
It is. So next up on the list here, we have Lucia and Glenn. They do daily content. They do content about travel, music, and food. The question is, hey there, had a couple questions as a new creator trying to get a better understanding of the process. If I were to start over on my channel, would I need to re-upload everything from scratch? Is there any way to avoid duplicate content issues when doing that? Also, just out of curiosity, how do you feel your platform or tools compare to something like vidIQ, especially from a new creator's perspective? Appreciate any insight, just trying to learn more and getting my footing. So when it comes to uploading everything from scratch, I would not download all your videos and try to re-upload them to another channel. I just wouldn't do that because you've already, you've built an audience on your channel. You have, a channel where you've been doing that. And by putting the same videos on another channel, it's not going to make them perform any differently because they're still the same videos, right? So because of that, I wouldn't even worry about that particular thing. But in terms of avoiding duplicate content issues, if you were going to do that, you would you would want to delete everything off of the originating channel and then re-upload everything to the other channel. Yeah, in your case, because you do have a lot of videos and, you do have people that come in and watch your videos and all of that, I'm just not sure if, that's not the best route for you to go. Instead of going through that effort, I would actually spend more time on the current channel trying to understand what you can do with the content that you're currently making to get a better result from the people that are interacting with the content. That would be the thing that I would focus on. And then in terms of how my app compares to vidIQ, so there's a few, things that are different. So when it comes to vidIQ, they have a website, in a browser extension. I don't. Mine is, made for people that are on a phone. I do have a website version coming, but it's going to be a while. But when it comes to vidIQ, there's that. In addition to that, vidIQ is more of like a search-based tool. And for new content creators, some of that stuff, like if you open up their app, it can be kind of confusing when you're going in there. And it doesn't do anything to help you actually manage anything around what it is that you're doing on YouTube. So they do have a title generator, but you got to show up with a title to, put in there. They have a tool that does give you feedback on your thumbnails as well. I personally, from extensive testing with both, think mine's better, but theirs is good too. No shade on them at all. But I think for a new content creator, I think that with mine teaching people how to, or making it possible for people to organize things in a better way, plus get that feedback that they need, is more valuable than going after keywords. Because keywords are great when it comes to YouTube, but it's not great for every type of content. And there's been this kind of idea that's spread across YouTube over time to where if you go into a lot of the new YouTuber Facebook groups and subreddits and things like that, you see this default response to where people think that in order to get views on your YouTube videos that you have to optimize them for search. But it's 2025. That's not a thing anymore. So when it comes to getting a response on YouTube, you can get it from YouTube search, but you also want to take your try at the recommendation system as well if you want your channel to just grow at a nice steady pace, and you just want to learn how to get that response off of home pages and suggested videos. Now, longer, really good growth can come from search-based content. But that's best for how-to channels and educational channels, things like that. In your case, you can use some of that because you do make travel content, so you can optimize around travel content. But I would still be trying to get homepage and suggested video traffic for your content as well. But try them both. vidIQ is a great tool. I don't have anything bad to say about them. So I just recommend that, everybody, for all the tools that are out there, with the exception of probably one, I try all the different stuff. And, you'll find that, hey, in this tool I use this, and this tool I use this, that's what I do. I have different things that I use in a decent amount of the tools that are available.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Kneeling Warriors. Kneeling Warriors uploads 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than a month. They do faith-based Christian content. The goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, Nick, followed your advice that you gave in a previous live stream I watched. You suggested that a new channel should post their first 3 videos and also a second video this past week. The question is, how long does it typically take before YouTube would start recommending my channel to viewers on their homepage as me having a new channel? Is the time frame typically 1 month, 3 months, 6 months of content history? So when you first publish your video, if you go into your stats right now, you're going to see that you have gotten impressions on those videos that you published to that channel. So what an impression is an impression is when YouTube shows your video to somebody on the platform. So if you go in, even if you don't have any views, you can still go in, you can look at your impressions. And if you have any impressions, what that means is YouTube has shown your videos to people. And then with them showing your videos to people, if you have 0 views, that means nobody decided to click on your video. But if you have some views, that means that some of those people that they showed them to decided to click on your video. audio. So all of that starts happening immediately when you publish videos, but your videos are going to live or die based on how people do respond to them. If they click on them at all, and then once they do click on them, how they respond to the content once they actually get into the videos themselves.
Nailed it.
Yep. Next up. If you are just joining us, what are you going to say?
Are we doing on questions?
We're running kind of tight, D. Running kind of slim here. So yeah, if you do have a question about anything that you're doing on YouTube, now's the time to get it into the form. All you have to do, if you're watching on somewhere other than YouTube, go to nicknimmin.com/ask. If you are watching on YouTube, I just put a link to the form right here in the chat. You can just click on that and then go add your questions. So next up here, D, we've got Ops at Giggles. Fun channel name. Been on YouTube, or they upload one time per week or more, been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They have an airsoft channel. The question is, can you please give me insight on my thumbnails and titles? Also, my voiceovers are very monotone, and I want to do a channel preview video for non-subscribers, but I haven't because I know it will be unprofessional. I guess what I'm trying to say is I want everything to be as good as possible with my page, etc., but I'm lost on how to do it all. Here's the thing. When it comes to YouTube, just put one foot in front of the next, right? Don't try to do everything all at once because it can be overwhelming, and there's just a ton of stuff. And what ends up happening is you're trying to work on a bunch of different things, and then it makes it to where you're not getting like really good at like a thing. So work on a thing, and then after you're like, okay, I think I've got a good handle on that. Now let me work on something else. That would be a good approach to take, because if you're trying to do everything and make everything perfect, then you're just going to drive yourself bonkers while you're trying to go through that process, and you're just going to keep yourself, busy with stuff. So I would just try to, like intentionally focus on, okay, now I'm trying to learn this particular thing. But let's go take a look at your titles. I just got to do a family-friendly check here real quick and make sure that you are, make sure that you're not doing anything crazy on your channel.
Doing the dirty stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see here. So we've got...
Are they clean?
Yeah. Let me go to your videos tab here.
Pulling them up.
Yeah, so let me look at the question here really quick and just make sure that I'm looking at the right thing. Right. So they wanted to know their thumbnails and titles. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull them up. Boom. Okay, so when it comes to your thumbnails and titles, let's see here. A full disassembly with this. So when it comes to thumbnails, try to think about, like, this is okay because you can kind of see the outline of what you're doing here, but you want to try to think about, okay, if this is going to be showing up and people need to see it at a glance, and especially at these small sizes like I'm looking at right here, then what can I do here to really make this part of it, stand out? Because ultimately that's what you want. So it looks like you are using AI for these thumbnails as well, which is fine. But I would still work really hard on that focus. So in this particular case, lightening up, the thing that's in the middle there, and trying to just make that the prominent thing. Because right now, all this stuff that's happening in the background is more prominent than that thing, even though that it's in the center, because it is so dark. When it comes to this, if I look here, let me actually turn this off really quick. So one thing, and Dee actually mentioned this earlier, is when it comes to your thumbnail, you want to try to imagine, and you can do this when you're actually making your thumbnails, but try to imagine that you don't have any titles attached to it. So if I look at this video, I have no idea what this particular video is about without the title itself. There's nothing about this that would make me even look at the title in the first place. What are your thoughts, Dee? If I make this bigger right here.
I can even looking at it from here. Why was the spring change harder? I understand that's a gun thing. But at a glance, no.
Yeah.
And that's really the key here is at a glance.
Yeah.
Right? Keep in mind, people are scrolling. They have all these options in front of them, all these different interests that are showing up at the same time that you're competing with. You don't even have a full second.
Right.
You have less than a full second to get their attention and get that user to understand what's happening with your entire package here.
Yeah.
And to click in. So clarity is what you need to be looking for here.
Yeah, same thing here. Like you have what you're working on, here real small in the image, versus using that to, stand out and grab people's attention. So when it comes to YouTube, people are interested in very specific things. And in your case, it's these airsoft things. So if you are trying to grab people's attention that is into that, then you can do it in a couple of ways. One is making sure that the actual object itself is just crystal clear and just easy to identify and just the core focus of the thumbnail. Number two is by actually taking their logo or using the word airsoft and actually putting that in the thumbnail somewhere. That's going to get you farther than why was the spring change harder, because it's going to help people be able to identify at a glance that that spring that you're actually working with there, that it has something to do with airsoft, right? So again, everything happens at a glance. And then in addition to that, if you look at this spring, it also is getting lost in this background here because there isn't any clear separation between that black part that you're holding in your hand and the actual spring itself. So putting that on a lighter background, kind of like in your videos, like when you go into the videos, you know, everything's kind of standing out. You want that same experience when it comes to your thumbnails as well. So my recommendation to you specifically would be to make sure that you are focused on, I would learn how to take pictures, right? Because you have a shop, right? You've got a shop, you've got all the stuff. Like I would just learn how to take photos and you can do it with your phone. What do you use, Snapseed?
Snapseed,
yeah.
Free.
So take photos with your phone in your shop. Just set them on a piece of wood or something like that, and that would actually help you also get kind of like a branded look with everything you're doing. But basically, set them on a piece of wood, and I'm saying that because it looks like that's what you were actually had them on, some type of like wood bench or something. But basically, just do like an overhead shot of the different things that you're doing, and let them just stand out there by themselves. I wouldn't even worry about all of the like crazy AI expressions and things like that you're putting them on there. I would just make it crystal clear that it is something airsoft related and grab that or put that imagery in there as well so that it grabs people's attention. Any additional thoughts there?
No, I agree. Think of it this way. People are scrolling. You have a split second to get their attention. Mm-hmm. And if you're making videos about airsoft, think about what would get your attention. If you're on your phone late night, you're scrolling, you're doom scrolling, whatever it is that you're doing, what imagery is going to get your attention immediately? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be a spring or is it going to be the full gun?
Right.
Just because you're talking about the spring
object thing,
right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the pew pew.
Yeah.
It can be the object in its entirety on a lighter background.
Yeah.
It could be something really cool that you shoot. You talked about, you did the rollover and it showed that you have the wood bench mm-hmm. and you have the pew pew sitting on top of it. Mm-hmm. Grab your phone, take a cool picture of it. Mm-hmm. Make sure your desk is uncluttered, just so it's super clear when somebody's scrolling. Oh, there it is. Bam.
What is this? Let me read the title.
There's a pew pew that I'm interested in. Right. I identify with that object. Right? Stop them from scrolling. That's the thing. Stop them from scrolling. Your title can tell them that it involves a spring, or you can put a little bit of text on the thumbnail, not covering the object, mm-hmm. let them know that it's about the spring. Yeah. But the thing that gets their attention, it's not going to be your face necessarily. It's going to be the thing that you're talking about the most,
yep.
the airsoft.
Yep. That's
what I would test first and foremost, and I would test that moving forward for the next 10 videos probably.
Yep. Yeah, and really, could you have a shop? Like I would just go in there and take just tons of pictures.
Yeah.
Just go take all of your entire, all of them that you have and just take a ton of pictures. And then that way you put them on your computer, wherever it is you make your thumbnails. And then whenever it comes thumbnail time, just go into that, area of your photos and just find a picture that makes sense for, that thing that you're working on. But I would definitely try to, use that iMagery more. iFun Chris, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate it.
Look at people who are making content that is similar to yours. Mm-hmm. Look at the ones that are succeeding. Look at the ones that have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of views and look at their imagery. Look how clear their imagery is. And then look at yours. Mm-hmm. Look at theirs and look at yours. Mm-hmm. And do that with a lot of different types of videos that are getting lots of views in the same niche.
Steve Cassidy Guitar is the next channel. Oh, how did that show up over there? Oop, you know what? Oh, that's funny.
What happened?
Yeah, Doug mentioned present over here, and I did it in the main chat instead of the other thing. That's funny. Okay, anyway. So Steve Cassidy Guitar, they upload one time per week or more. They have a guitar gear review and entertainment channel. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time creator, so this is a serious thing here. And the question is, I recently made a second channel to move my live streams from the main channel. I feel like the live streams and shorts sent confusing signals to the algorithm. I've unlisted, keep in mind, it's all separate, right? So there's bridges between everything, but like your live stream performance and your shorts performance and all that, like it's all its own thing. But it says, I did start a third channel for shorts, but quickly dropped it once I realized it's not possible to embed links to long forms on the main channel. I'm done with shorts now. Do you think this could be an effective strategy? So, I mean, you can spread things out. And when you spread things out, it does give you the opportunity to possibly reach people that maybe didn't see the other stuff. So, you know, that is something that you can do. However, if all of the content on the channel is pointed towards a particular type of viewer, you can have your videos, you can have your live streams, and you can do your shorts. But it all has to be for the same audience that you're trying to reach. If you're doing wildly different things that don't make sense for the people that are watching videos to hang out in your live streams, or the people that are hanging out in your live streams to watch your shorts or your regular videos, then in that case, you know, you need to work on that side of things. But if the person that enjoys your videos could also enjoy your live streams, and the person that enjoys your live streams can also enjoy your shorts, and every you know, every version of that, then in that case, you don't need to put them on separate channels.
Tales of Nature, how you doing?
Yeah, and really quick, you have additional information here, and you mentioned that you've seen a lot of newer, like, grow your channel creators saying don't have shorts and longs on the same channel, but how about live streams? So people used to say that about live streams too, but the problem is people upload different types of things into, like, let's say, for example, on my channel, right? So I can make a live stream for content creators, YouTube content creators, that helps you in the, you know, thing that we do here. I can make a piece of video content that helps you over there, and then I can also make shorts that is about things that you care about as a YouTuber. However, if I started all of a sudden on my shorts turning that into my life in Thailand, and I start looking at that as something to where I'm like, hey, this is going to just give people insights into, you know, me and the life, you know, that I have here, and kind of add more of my personality and things like that, and I look at that as the thing that I'm going to be doing, on the surface level, it sounds like it might be a good idea, but when it comes to the people that are interacting with that content, they might not care less about anything related to YouTube. They might not even be a content creator, right? So then what happens there is, you know, just starts kind of, you know, getting your content in front of people that don't actually, you know, care about the content all the way across the board when things don't line up that way. Stanley Orchard, what's up, dude? Hope that you are doing great. Artist Haven, nice to see you in here. Hope you are doing great. Scrap and Pallet Man, what's happening? Hey, Sue. Nice to see you in here. You just say Sue also?
I did.
Tales of Nature. Hope that you are doing great.
Tish and Beanie both were hanging out with me in my Meld stream.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice.
So Tish and Beanie, we were in there. We were talking about adding a guest inside of Meld, and I said I didn't know. And I believe it was Tish who came up with the brilliant idea of going to obs.ninja and adding it that way. It works.
Nice.
So you can add a guest through Meld.
So for everybody here, because we don't have any relationship with Meld whatsoever, but Dee's been experimenting with a live streaming service called Meld. Like, what are your Mel or Meld? I think it's Meld.
It's M-E-L-D.
D, Meld. Yeah.
D.
Meld.
D.
Yeah.
D-E-E. M-E-L-D-E-E.
Oh, it's Meld-E?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's just Meld.
But with that, like, what are your initial thoughts on it so far? Because we're thinking of switching over to that.
Meld is not browser-based. If you're using StreamYard or a StreamYard competitor like EVM or EviewMux or something like that, where it's browser-based, it is not. It's software. You have to install it, so it's more along the lines of OBS or Ecamm Live or something like that.
Yeah, she said that wasn't her. She doesn't even know what that is.
Oh, I thought it was you. Anywho, it is free. That's the thing that makes it attractive, is it's free. You can add your gameplay. You can add multiple audio sources. You can share your browsers. You can add a guest if you use obs.ninja. You can bring them in that way. It's free, and it's really good. I was surprised. You can get really good quality video in there. It's easy to set up. It's intuitive. I think we're going to make a video about it, because I know a lot of people are looking for free solutions that are not too complicated.
Yeah.
And you can get up and running with this.
I think pretty much everybody would love a free solution that's not complicated.
Yeah. If you're bringing in lots of guests, it's not for you. But if you're just like, hey, I'm one person, or maybe I have a guest, or maybe I want to do my gameplay or just share whatever it is that I'm doing, my hobby, and you're looking for something free, it's easy, it's great. Yeah, I'll probably make a video about it. I was really impressed. It's not better than OBS. If you are using OBS and you know how to use OBS, OBS is significantly better when it comes to the features and the things that you can do in terms of...
So it's more capable.
Yeah, OBS is more capable. You can make more of a custom stream. But if you don't need all of the stuff that OBS has and you're looking for something that's just easier to use, but you can still make a really cool looking stream, Meld. Yeah, I was really surprised. Really surprised.
Charge Grabber says, I worry about free these days. There's always a cost somewhere. Yeah, I know. I think what they're doing, because I'm in their subreddit, and I think what they're doing is they are basically doing everything for free now, and they're going to get it to a certain point. And then once they get it to that certain point, and Dee actually touched on this when we were talking about it earlier today, and then once they get it to a certain point, then they're going to start adding paid features, and then those paid features are going to be how they're monetized. But I know in the subreddit and what you mentioned to me earlier today, they are putting out the messaging that they are going to keep everything that's currently free. Right?
If it's free now, it's supposed to stay
free. And then from there, then additional things, once they start, adding paid features, then those will be, paid.
And Chantel brings this up, and I forgot to mention this, is you can stream, it's not that you can stream horizontally and vertically at the same time, but it allows you to build different scenes.
Oh, so you can't go both at the same time?
No, you can, but you can build two scenes.
Oh, okay, got it.
So it's not like, I just have to do this.
Yeah, so like Streamlabs does that too. Yeah,
right.
Okay.
So you can say, I want to build a vertical stream, and all of the scenes do this.
Okay.
At the same time, I want a horizontal stream and have all of this. And as you're switching, like everything is in alignment.
That's cool.
At the same time.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah. I didn't test that part, but I know it's available.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I'll probably do a couple more tests on it before I make a video about it.
Yeah, and Steve Cassidy says, I've been using Prism Live Studio. It's always been free, but moving the paid options at the end of this month.
Is Prism going paid finally? I didn't know that.
No.
I didn't know that.
So next up, we've got, let's see here, Steve Cassidy Guitar. I think, didn't we just do this one, or is this a different one? Guitar reviews. Okay, yeah, we did that one already. Okay, so next up, and if you are just joining us, I do want to let you know we are answering YouTube questions, talking about all things related to YouTube. So if you do have a question, make sure that you do put it in the form that's down in the video description. I've dropped a link into the chat as well. If you are watching this on another platform that is not YouTube, you can go to nickniman.com/ask, and it will redirect you to the form that I'm pulling questions from.
Go super chat.
Super chat.
David Manny, thanks for the super chat, man. Says, is there any data showing what age group consumes more short form content on YouTube? Does a younger crowd consume more YouTube short form content?
That's a great question.
There is, and I've actually ran across it, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. But that information is out there, but I can't recall it off the top of my head for that.
If you are not making short form content yet, David, and you're wondering if your target audience can be found with short form content, I would say yes. I'm in my 50s and I watch short form content.
Yeah, me too. I'm not in my 50s, but I watch
short form content on YouTube. I watch it on Instagram. I watch it on TikTok. So I think your audience is out there.
Yeah.
You just have to learn how to produce it in a way to where it's a different feeling. It's a totally different vibe.
Yeah.
And since you're doing real estate and relocation to Omaha, for the 5 people who live in Omaha, and you're trying to get that 6th person to move to Omaha, you just need to rethink how you're going to make your shorts to make them something that somebody, because you're scrolling, right? A lot of times when I'm watching shorts, I'm in the bathroom or I'm laying in bed trying to go to sleep with my ear pods in or something.
You could have started with the laying in bed. You could have been
I just
laying
put
in
it out
bed
there.
or just like waiting for somebody to show up somewhere,
Waiting on the
or
bus, waiting on the
having a
bus.
coffee,
Waiting on
that
the
kind of
bus.
stuff would
Yeah.
probably been appropriate.
I'm usually doom scrolling, which I hate to admit that I do, but I'm usually doom scrolling when I get into shorts. But because I'm doom scrolling, like I pay attention because as a creator, I try to be aware of what stops me scrolling. Like, why that got my attention? Why did it get my attention? What was it? What did they show? What did they say? What was the framing? Why did I just stop scrolling? So go into the short form platform, start looking at real estate and relocation, and start paying attention to what stops you from scrolling and see if they're getting any response from doing that. You can definitely do it.
Shark Scrapper says, amazing how much info you can put to a 3-minute short. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And another thing that I think is interesting with shorts, as much as I hate it as a creator, I hate with every fiber of my being that they are showing shorts in YouTube search.
I hate it.
As a creator, I hate it.
Hate it.
As a viewer, though,
I hate it.
I love it.
I hate it.
I love it. Because like there, I'm like, okay, well, I can watch this like 20-minute video on this thing that I'm trying to figure out, or I can take a risk on this like 1 to 3 minute short.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll roll the dice on the 1 to 3 minutes, and I usually get out of it what I need, because people are really good now at condensing that information down to where it's like, hey, you don't have to watch a 20-minute video on it. You can get what you need out of this, 3 minutes or minute or whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as a viewer, I like it, but as a creator, I absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate it.
I don't mind remember we used to just have a short shelf. Mm-hmm. A short shelf.
Yeah.
Now
it's like everywhere. Yeah.
Right.
But that's what they have to do, because like if they're trying to, if they want to be able to say that they get more vertical views than TikTok, then they got to kind of cram it in front of everybody's face, I guess, in order to get it there.
Yeah, I mean that's the equivalent of saying that we're going to change your impressions into view counts.
Right.
Like they did that with view counts.
Right.
But I feel like they've turned shorts into it's almost like a stalker. So no matter where I go on YouTube, it's like
it's there looking at you. Yeah. Oh, hey, there he is. There he is. Hey, over here. Yeah.
Oh, hey, yeah.
It's like, get away.
Yeah,
Stop.
go away.
That'd be a hilarious short, actually.
Yeah,
that'd be a really funny short.
I can't get away from shorts.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't show me shorts. I wish I know they're never going to do it, but I wish we could have a toggle that says just keep a short shelf.
Yeah.
Just old school short shelf.
Mm-hmm. John Charano, what's going on? Hope you're doing great. Old school short shelf.
That was the name of the toggle. Old school short shelf. And that's all it was.
So next up on our list here, we got Switch Gaming. Switch Gaming uploads 1 time per week or more. They have a gaming live stream. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I live stream on YouTube with a regular horizontal stream and a vertical stream. I usually unlist the vertical stream after it's done live streaming, but was thinking, would it be better to have both streams up and leave them and not unlist the vertical stream? Also, I get more views on my vertical streams by quite a bit too. So here's what's happening.
Renee, that doesn't work. They come back. I've done this over and over and over and over and over. The whole pick the 3 dots and say show fewer shorts. That lasts for like 3 days, and it's like, guess who's back, right? It's like it's nighttime outside. And like your windows
there's like lightning and rain,
right?
And you see a short looking in the window.
There's shorts, right? Your window, your blinds aren't closed. It lightnings, and you see the silhouette of like the shorts logo outside, just standing in the rain. Yeah. You're like, oh my god, is that shorts?
Is that a shorts?
And you run, you turn off the lights, and then you run, you look out the peek hole, and there's like a group of shorts out in your front yard, just standing there in the rain, and then you hear
coats,
and you hear something. You're like. Take the kids upstairs and lock them in the room. Don't come up there until I say it's safe. And you hear something in the basement, and you peek down the basement, and there's a bunch of shorts in your basement. And you hit the 3 dots. You hit the 3 dots, and you're like, show less shorts, and they disappear for like 3 days. And then it's like you're knocking at the door, and you open the door. There's nobody there, and you're like, oh no, they're back. And you see one over behind the tree peeking out.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. Show less shorts should mean get these things off of my feed until I choose to show more shorts.
There are extensions and stuff like that you can use for.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have that conversation.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that by itself would be a hilarious short. Like, you should make that short. Yeah.
But that's what it is. Yes, but the purge.
Yeah.
The shorts purge. That's what it feels like. Don't get me wrong. I watch shorts. but I don't want them to, like, force feed me shorts.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just running. Like, I'm just running from them. I can't get away. It's like Michael Myers. It's like Halloween, the guy, right? Michael Myers, like no matter how fast they run, he just slowly.
Shorts logo just creeping through the forest.
They just slowly walk behind, and they somehow keep up. And you're just like, no,
you're running. You're like falling in the forest.
Yeah, and it's like right there.
I'm trying to. Yeah, great.
That's me in shorts.
Brianni, what's going on? Hope you are doing amazing. Nice to see you here.
Renee, so let him know how I feel about that, Renee.
That was a great illustration, but that would be a hilarious short.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Show less shorts means like, I mean, considering the amount of shorts they try to show us, it means it's like show less shorts. Turn off 2% of the shorts.
All right.
Okay. So back on track.
Yeah. So when it comes to your live streams doing better in the vertical stream instead of the landscape stream, One thing just to keep in mind is that when it comes to the two, different versions, they happen to people differently, and people respond to them differently. So basically, when you are publishing to like the regular landscape content, live streams in your case, you have additional things that have to take place for somebody to participate in that. One, they have to see it, on the platform. Two, it has to grab their attention against all the other stuff that, that YouTube is showing them. Three, it has to be of interest to them, and they have to be able to easily identify that. And then however you've packaged it up should compel them to come into it in some way. And you have all of that you have to do just to get them into your live stream. And then when it comes to the short shelf, it's completely different because it just shows up. You're not competing with anything else in that moment except for yourself right there on the screen. And then there, if you are holding people's attention, then people can stick around there in an easy way. So it's two totally different things that you're doing there. And because of that, in a lot of cases, the vertical stuff can end up doing well just because it does just show up there and you have all of those other obstacles removed. So so just keep that in mind when it comes to it. But in terms of like unlisting them, things like that, I think keeping them both up is perfectly fine because you are creating two different experiences there. So I think that you are I think you're okay there. Yeah, Renee says Michael Myers dead, looking for a Shatner mask now.
Yes. That, you know what? That should have been the Shorts logo. Right? The Michael Myers hockey mask with a little YouTube thing in it. Can't get rid of them.
So next up on the list.
Don't take it wrong. I like shorts.
Yeah.
I just don't want so many shorts.
Yeah.
I want to wear pants every now and then.
Right.
Well, give me the longs.
Mm-hmm. So Dr. Vibe Show uploads one time per week or more. The type of channel is news and information for Black people and those who love them. And the goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, do you have any suggestions on how to balance long form content versus shorts? Yes, absolutely. So when it comes to balancing long forms and shorts, just think about one, what you enjoy creating, two, where you can reach the people that you're trying to reach, three, what are you trying to do with your content in terms of, what are you trying to accomplish in that moment in time? So for example, shorts can be great for growing a channel, so can long form. Shorts can be great for being able to sell things as an affiliate if you, are monetized and you can have people, clicking on products right there if you're making the right type of content. So can longs. When it comes to getting search activity, you can get that in shorts. You can get feed activity in shorts. Like you can get, everything that you need essentially from shorts. But when it comes to long form content, that's a little bit better for, developing relationships and, explaining things in detail or showing things in detail or taking people on these longer, experiences through your content. And the lifetime of long form content, as long as it's something good, like there's, videos on YouTube that have been around for 15 years that still get views, on them every day. Yeah. 10 years, views on them every day. So the longevity of long form content is, nice and tested and proven. Shorts might be that way, also in the future, we'll see. But when it comes to long form content, it's great for, those types of things. Next up, we've got Matt's Vietnam Life. That's Vietnam Life has a channel where they share their experience about living, working, and traveling in Vietnam. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time creator. And the question is, my channel has close to 2,000 subscribers. I have 1,000 returning viewers. Is that a good return rate? Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, half of the people that are watching your content are coming back and watching more. Yeah, man, that's good.
That's good. YouTube has been recommending to me a ton of vloggers in Vietnam.
Oh, really?
Probably the past 2 weeks.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if there's just been a...
Do you watch vlogging content in general?
Occasionally, but never about Vietnam. Yeah, I mean, I've been there. Like, I don't need to see vloggers on it. But for some reason, there's just been a push. I don't know if there's just been an influx of people making content there or what it is, but they've been definitely testing it. And I'm like, no, I'm going to skip past that. How about this one? Yeah. Kind of like shorts. Yeah. I was like, oh, come on. That was a bear. It was a bear in Vietnam.
Right. You'd be like, yeah, I'm watching that one.
Yeah. All day long. Or a cat video. Yeah, you got me.
So Mike's Philippine Restaurant, they upload one time per week or more. They do Philippine life and information. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I use CapCut just to remove noise and enhance voice. Also, video retouch for my dark bags under my eye. It works great for that.
Yeah, it does.
Is there any editing tool that does the same thing or better? D.
Yes, you can use...
You look like you're excited to answer that question.
I was just telling you about the video I was working on, but I failed at the video. So for cleaning up, okay, you can use Final Cut Pro or DaVinci Resolve. I believe DaVinci Resolve also has some beauty tools in it. DaVinci Resolve is free. Final Cut Pro you do have to pay for. There's a learning curve for both of them. For your voice, you can use Adobe Enhance Speech. I don't know what the limitations are when it comes to using the free version, but I've been running all of my audio recently through Adobe Enhance Speech. I just shoot it, I run out an audio track by itself, upload it, and I adjust the settings to where I like how it sounds. I still like a natural sound. I don't want it too overly processed. Yeah. Export it out, throw it back up, and sync it. Super easy. But in terms of the beauty dish, I know exactly what you're talking about. Getting rid of the dark bags under your eyes with CapCut, that's great. Final Cut Pro, and I believe DaVinci Resolve can do that. But that's the problem with CapCut. So many people use CapCut because it's super intuitive and easy to use. I hate that they've made the new terms of services that are so... I actually expected them to step back and be, you know what, we listened, we heard you. So many, I can't even imagine how many customers they lost. They didn't even acknowledge it. That's wild.
It is.
Yeah.
Us plus tab, what's going on? Yeah. So next up on the list here, we have, no, we did Mike Phillips' retirement already.
Really
do you have another tool?
I don't know if it does it. I need to check, but look at VN. Vlog Now. It might do it, and there's another one that might do it called VLLO. I don't know if they do, but they're pretty robust in terms of features, so check out VN or VLLO and see if they do.
So next up on the list here, we have Unapologetically Sensei. They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do shorts only, political satire. The goal of the channel is to have fun. And let's see here. The question is, yo, Nick and D, quick question. What's going on? Says, have y'all ever noticed the time bar showing time remaining instead of time elapsed? Like I'll see something like 3:35 on a 12 minute and 49-second video, and trying to add at a specific scene becomes mental gymnastics. Now I got to do the math. So if you hit the share option, then it will, you can actually have a little checkbox down there, and you can click that checkbox and it'll actually grab that particular spot of the share, just so you know. But they say it becomes mental gymnastics, and I got to do the math. I haven't found any settings that show time remaining instead of elapsed. So just wondering if that's a bug or hidden feature. It's low-key annoying when you're trying to engage with timestamps. Appreciate you all, Sensei. So you're talking about the video player and what it's showing down at the bottom of the video player. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not following.
So in order to find that timestamp, just the easy way is just click share, and then it'll grab that particular part. Another thing that you can do is you can open up the transcript as well. And if you open up the transcript, you also have an option there. If you're on a computer, you have the option there to toggle timestamps on and off, and then you can also use that as a way to either mark where you're at in the video, or jump to a specific spot into the video for sharing. Let's see here. Next up. And this is the last question right now, D.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen, if you have a question that you want answered, head down to the description. We have a form down there, or you can go to, what is it?
nickniman.com/ask.
nickniman.com
/ask.
Yep. Wow, that's a first. We ran out of questions really fast. Wow.
So Co2X, they upload 1 time per week or more. They make gotcha content. The goal is to have fun. And the question is, what are your opinions on my channel as of now? I want to enhance it further, but honestly, kind of hit a wall. Maybe switch to a different niche so I can get more views. But honestly, I kind of enjoy my little corner of gotcha content. So let me pull it up here and let's
check it out.
Let's see what you got.
A little corner of the internet. Try to get your questions in.
So let's hear. The very specific question was about what are your opinions on my channel as of now? So from a first impression point of view, excuse me, from a first impression point of view, I think your channel art's confusing.
Are you pulling them up?
Yeah, they're up right now.
Oh, there you go. A little bit
from an artistic standpoint, I think that, it's kind of cool, the little 8-bit looking thing that you got going on there. But it is, it's kind of hard to kind of tell what's going on. I mean, if I spend some energy on it, I can tell that this is saying the same thing that this is, I think. But in terms of everything else that's happening here, let's look at the important stuff. I bless these fate pulls. Not sure what that is. I overbuilt Cypher and regret nothing. Let's see here. I reviewed the new Blade buffs. Your viewers are responding well to these, right? So you have this one with 40,000 views. You have 20,000 views, 5.7. So what I would do in your particular case right now is I would start trying to connect the dots. And I'm not familiar with this, particular subject here, so I probably won't make these connections well. But just from some of the imagery here, I can see some things that are related. So one thing that I would do is I would start thinking about, okay, I have this video where I'm talking about, these specific characters or these specific things. I've got, these videos where I'm talking about these specific things. And then I would start, trying to figure out what people are responding to the best, because this one, clearly was a hit right here. But I would start looking for those types of things and start really trying to lean into the topics that people care about the most, or the characters, or the specific. Let's see here. On Honkai Star Rail. Okay, so I guess the game, or yeah, it is a game. So yeah, so I guess it's Star Rail. So yeah, so I would try to figure out the things that you're talking about, people respond to best. But for these videos that are standout, like this one that has 40,000 views, this one here that has 24, this one has 20, I would go in and this one 132,000 right here. I would go in and I would start analyzing these and trying to figure out why these videos did better than some of these other ones. Like here, you have this one with 132, and you've got 40 here, which might end up doing better, over time as well. And then you have 24 and 20. But then you also have some of these here that are like 4 and 6 and 8. So, you could have just missed the mark. That happens too. But I would just go in and I would start really paying attention to what it is that you are, not what you're doing, but how people are responding to what it is that you're doing. So I would go in and I would start looking for details in terms of, how far, at the 30-second mark on this video, how are people responding to it? At the 30-second mark on this video, how are people responding to it? Compared to other videos, how is this one, compared to this one? In your audience retention reports, go into your actual audience retention reports and start looking at things through that lens, and start looking at, things that you're doing in the videos that are causing people to watch for a longer period of time, than others. But yeah, I would definitely start just kind of digging into the content, because you have enough information on your channel now to where you can really start fine-tuning things if you want to.
Is this an anime, or is Gacha a game?
So right here, somebody mentioned that...
Oh, they're gambling. Gacha games are gambling.
Yeah, right there. GameBuster says they're gambling, kind of like a game currency gambling. You use the game currency to pull for characters or weapons for your team. Interesting. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this.
Yeah, so with that, Scale Train Station said it right here too. Gacha games are gambling. So yeah, so with those, also, trying to figure out, like, maybe it's just the thing to where you're doing more exciting things in some of them than others. I mean, that's definitely possible as well. But I would go and start looking for those things, so that when you are putting your content together, you can cater your content to those things that people are responding to at a higher level compared to others. Next up, we've got A Boy Survived. Been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They tell stories.
That's the name of the channel?
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. The question is, I would like to spread the word more on the, let's see here. Much more I think. Some kind of controversial. How can I better spread awareness of this issue? Okay. So they said that they would like to spread the word more, that SA is done by women to boys is much more common than people think. Since my content is controversial, how can I better spread awareness on this issue? Making content about it is a great way to spread awareness on it. It is controversial, but if you are wanting to spread awareness, content is one of the best avenues right now, and it has been for quite some time, to spread awareness about anything that you're trying to spread awareness about. Yeah. So I think when it comes to, all of the options that you have, I think that, long form content and vertical content across platforms is a great way to spread any message that you're trying to spread, and spread any awareness that you're trying to spread about any, issues that that are important to you.
Yeah, so I'm going to add to that, because I've come across similar things before. When you're making short form content, and I don't know if you are, but I would make some videos, short form videos, that are graphically put together to where it's something that somebody could share.
Graphically put together, do you mean like a faceless type of channel?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it's primarily graphics, and it's just hard data. hard data backed up by the source. It doesn't have to be long. It could be 15 seconds long. It could be 30 seconds long, to where it's just one stat. Here's one hard statistic. This is where the source came from. Make it look graphically pleasing and get right into it. Make it something that somebody can share. And then I would go on X and I would start finding organizations and people who are into the same thing that you're into and and share some of those clips with them, because those bite-sized type videos get shared a lot on platforms like X and places like Instagram and stuff like that. So I would try to work my way into those communities with bite-sized pieces of content that have hard data in them.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people doing that already with something similar.
Yeah, and Shark Scrapper says here, controversial is fine, but very important. To keep it clean and factual, name calling and distorting facts can spell doom and doesn't help your goal.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Keep it data driven.
Yep.
Keep it, make sure you have sources. Don't be too opinionated on it. The more neutral you can stay about that, I think the more reach you're going to get, my opinion.
Next up, we've got Shark Scrapper. What's going on, dude? Hope you're doing great.
Hey.
He does infotainment content. The goal is to make money. And the question is, what is the best way to use the new title testing feature, different titles in the same thumbnail or different titles on different thumbnails? With only 14,000 plus subscribers, I'm not sure I have enough viewers to make the results meaningful. So when it comes to that, I don't have access to it yet. So at least... because the video that I just published on my app, that particular video I had scheduled already. Like it was, it's already been on the channel for a bit. So I might have access to it. I'm not sure. We'll see when I upload the next video. But I currently don't have access to that. So I'm not 100% sure yet. But in terms of the approach that is good to take with this based on the interface, screenshots that I've seen, is that, being able to test entire packages is definitely something that that you want to consider. And the reason for that is because, like, if you have a title and you keep that title the same, but then you change 3 different thumbnails, well, the thumbnail might be okay. Like the thumbnail could have been fine. And the title itself could be the thing that's kind of dragging down the click-through of that particular video. So because of that, just taking the approach to where you're going to be testing everything as like a whole is going to be the approach that I'm going to be trying first. And the reason for that is because then you're giving yourself the opportunity to modify everything except for the topic itself, but you are modifying how that topic is expressed. So you're going to give yourself that opportunity to modify everything, that's important, essentially about the package itself. So when you're doing that, just as kind of a general rule of thumb, and you know this already, but I'm sharing it, just for the information, is you do want to just remember that when you are using that type of tool, that you do want to make sure that you are always in first keeping the expectation that the viewer might have in mind, so that when you are deciding, like, okay, I'm going to use this thumbnail and this title, and then I'm going to test it against this thumbnail and this title and this thumbnail and this title, when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you are considering, okay, what type of expectation is this going to create? What type of expectation is this going to create? And what type of expectation is this going to create? And do I actually fulfill those expectations for each one of these in the video content itself? So you want to make sure that you're thinking about that with, with each version that you're doing.
So Gaming with Admin, I'm going to grab this one out of the chat here, says, sir, in the description you mentioned some interesting YouTube books, but these books are written before AI came. So is it really helpful now?
Oh, yeah.
That's actually a really good question.
It is a great question. These are the books.
These are the books. Here's the thing about the books. No matter what happens with YouTube, best practices are still going to apply. We still need to learn best practices. We still need to learn how YouTube works as a platform, how it delivers our videos, how to interact with an audience, how to do all of the things. With or without AI, those things are still going to be there.
Yes.
AI, while I can see how it can be scary for some people and it can be a tool, I think that's really what it comes down to. AI is a tool that can speed up your workflow. It can make you more efficient. It can help you brainstorm and come up with ideas. It can help you generate titles. It can help you make thumbnails. It can help you write your descriptions. Use AI as a tool to make you more productive, to make you more creative. Sometimes, even for myself, if I'm just like, yeah, I'm not really happy with this title, I'll go into ChatGPT and I'll say, here's the idea of my video. And I'll just write a couple sentences of my video and I'll say, give me a broad idea or for broad reach what this title could look like or what it would look like for search. Until your app came along, that's what I was doing. Now he has an app that will do that. If you have an iPhone, you can download his app and do that. But before the app, I was doing that in ChatGPT, just brainstorming. What else could I do? Here's what my hook is going to be. I believe my hook is going to be this. How could I word this to make it more impactful? And it will just spit out some ideas. Maybe they're great, maybe they're not great. But just in terms of giving me a bounce board, giving me something else to think about, attacking it from an angle. Here's my idea, approach it from a couple of different angles that I might be overlooking. Give me something to think about. So use AI as a tool. These books are not going to go away. Right. Yeah, there could be some chapters in there that might be out of date, but they're about best practices. No. Best practices are always going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, and another thing too is like, with all the AI content that is on the platform, like, you still got to compete. Yeah. And in order to compete, you still have to have the skill sets. You still got to, know what to do. So that's where, those types of things come into play.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure someone is writing one right now. Someone is probably writing a book about AI and YouTube, how to use AI to your benefit as a creator. Yeah. Somebody's probably writing a book right now. And if not, somebody write that book. Yeah.
And Renee mentions with his clearly biased opinion here. No, I'm just kidding. He says it sounds biased, but try Gemini as well. It has a lot of context on YouTube specifically.
I've never tried Gemini.
So here's something that, and I saw this because Renee Ritchie retweeted it.
Is it free? Or is it?
It has a free tier,
right?
But it has paid options, as well. Yeah. But basically, you can drop a link to a YouTube video in there, and Todd did this
into Gemini.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically, and Renee mentioned right here that has a lot of context on YouTube. So basically, he dropped a video link in there, and the prompt was something along the lines of, give me feedback on this video and what could I have done to turn this video into a banger. And it's a little bit longer than that. But basically, it goes through, because I duplicated it. I was like, yeah, let's see what this does. And it gives you a lot of really good information based on things that you could have changed in the video to make it better. So I'm really hoping, Renee, that they integrate some of that into YouTube. Like, what a cool thing that would be for content creators, to where you could go in, and I know they're already doing some of this in terms of it's kind of like the assistant that they're kind of that they have in there, to where you can ask it information about your stats, things like that. Being able to drop a video in there and being like, hey, how can I make this video better, or just hit a button on the video, and it gives like a full report, like, hey, based on how people responded to this seemed here, like you lost interest here, so maybe try something like this in the future or something like that, and it does all of that analysis.
All of that is coming from. Are you importing?
Well, no, I'm saying that it would be cool if YouTube had that as like a button you could press inside of YouTube Studio.
So it can do.
Yeah, he did that on Mr. Beast video. Yeah, he did it on a Mr. Beast video.
I see.
Yeah,
but I've never. You know what? I'll check that out tonight.
Yeah, but the idea, like Dee was talking about with like all of these tools, is you can do cool stuff like that. To where in the, like, if you don't have like a YouTube person at your disposal, then you can start using some of these tools. I mean, some of it you have to be kind of you have to kind of be careful with, in terms of like, okay, it's giving me this information, but like, is it right? You got to worry about some of that kind of stuff. But I mean, they're giving some really good information, and just any feedback is better, right? Because that feedback, you can be like, oh, okay, well, hey, I didn't think about that.
That's my thing right there.
Yeah.
It's the I didn't think about that. I didn't. Oh man, that's a great addition.
Right.
I don't know how I forgot that.
Right.
I don't know why I didn't add that in. Yeah, that's how I use it. I use it as a tool. And yeah, I mean, there are people who are uploading AI slop, and yes, we'll figure that out when we get there. But for now, I mean, AI is a tool, and it's at your disposal. Yeah, disposal. You've got Gemini.
We're gonna do it right now.
Gemini, GPT, Grok, and all the others that come with it. Use it.
Give me a second. We're gonna do it right now.
Are we doing GPT or Gemini?
We're gonna do Gemini.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, we're just gonna run a full thing.
I've never used Gemini, so I have no idea.
Okay, so right here, I'm just gonna grab the share link. Yeah, give me 1 second.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna drop this in here. And hold on, let me check.
When we get there, we're already there. Yeah, Shark Scrapper. I go back and forth on this. There's a rush of AI content coming in. Some of it's good. I've caught myself watching AI content, and especially the type of AI content where it's voice only, and they've curated other real videos and imagery to put on top of it. And it's taken me a while. They'll make a mistake somewhere, and I'll go, "Oh man, that's AI voice." Like that would, and here I am watching a 10-minute video washing dishes, and I'm halfway into it, and
you are washing dishes again.
And I didn't care. So I mean, it's here. I think good AI content is good AI content. It's still good content.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to push us as humans to maybe make better content.
Yeah.
Because we're competing with that now.
Right.
Yeah, because it's going to learn really fast how to make content to hold our attention. So we're going to have to keep making better content. And I'm all for it.
In this video, keep talking for a second, D. I'm trying to come up with a prompt here.
Okay, so you're making a prompt for Gemini now. Yeah, Renee says the inspiration tab in YouTube is pulling in some of this stuff. Yeah, I look at the inspiration tab. I understand that it's kind of in the beginning stages, but I like where it's going. I think it has a lot of potential, especially as you guys kind of build that out a little bit more. I get caught in a trap where if I'm going to the inspiration tab, Renee, it wants to focus on, and I understand why it's doing it, but it wants to focus more on what seems to be working the best on my channel. And no matter what I do, if I try to prompt it and steer it away, it keeps kind of steering itself back to what's happening right now. And if I want to do something different, like, yeah, I've already made these videos, I want to kind of break out and do something else, it kind of keeps steering me back there. And when I try to get away from it, but I love where it's going. I think once you guys get that ironed out, I think it's going to be great. Somebody just said here, I can see how AI can be a little intimidating. Yeah, it is. It's intimidating, but once you understand it at a very basic level, just to help you come up with ideas, just to have something to bounce your ideas off of, even if it's, a free version. I think it's really powerful. Really, really powerful.
Okay, so I'm putting it in here, so we'll see.
We missed a super chat from Steph.
Happens.
Where's Steph's super chat?
Okay, so yeah, we can answer that while this is cooking up here.
Okay, super chat here from Steph says, "How do vloggers find their audience as their topics are broad? Do you still have to focus on one topic to grow a vlogging channel?"
Find their audience as their topics are broad. Do you have to focus on one topic? It's not a topic; it's the type of viewer. So, for example, like if you are if you're doing vlogs, then entertainment should definitely be in there somewhere. But if you're doing vlog content, then it can be advantageous to think about the viewer themselves and what that viewer might be coming to your content for, or what you're trying to grow an audience around. So, for example, if you're going to be, like if you're a travel vlogger and you're showing people, all these locations and things like that, then in that case, you would want to make sure that the approach that you're taking when you're showing people those locations is that you're doing it through the view of somebody that, might not be going to those locations, possibly if that's the type of audience that you're wanting to build. But if you are trying to get in front of people that are actually considering going to those locations, then in that particular case, catering the video around the information that those people would care about more would be the approach, right? So it's more about, this is what it is that I'm making, and is there a way that I can kind of fine tune this for a certain type of viewer that's interested in certain types of things. So really quick on here, it says that I apologize, but I cannot provide specific tips on improving storytelling of the video. Okay. Okay. So I know. So what can you tell me about ways I can improve this video? Let's see what happens.
Doug said you might need the pro version.
To improve your YouTube video, let's see here, because here's what we have. Okay, so content and clarity. Let me kind of zoom in on this so everybody can kind of see it a little bit better. Oops, nope, let me do it there. There we go. This way everybody can see it a little bit easier here. Hey, Larissa, what's going on? Hope you're doing great. So, okay, so right here it says content and clarity, and this is on my video on YouTube. Hackers tried to steal my channel. This is how I caught them. So it says here are some general tips based on best practices for YouTube channel security and educational content. So content and clarity, structure, organize the information logically. You could use an introduction, problem statement. Okay, yeah, this isn't provide. Yeah, this is really general stuff. Instead of just saying, okay, here we go. So now we're getting into some more language stuff. So this is good. So it says actionable steps, provide clear step-by-step instructions for viewers to implement security measures. Instead of just saying use a strong password, explain what makes a strong password, length, character, variety, and suggest using a password manager. Visual aids, utilize on-screen graphics, screenshots, and screen. I did that already. So yeah, this isn't Conciseness. While detail is important for security. Yeah, it looks like it's just giving me a bunch of best practices. Not necessarily the content. Urgency by highlighting the real dangers of channel hacking.
Did it not look at your video?
No, like it said that it was pulling up on YouTube, but it's not giving me.
It didn't pull it up.
Yeah, maybe if I drop the transcripts in here, maybe it would be a little bit better. But yeah, your current title is a good hook. Start the video by immediately explaining. Yeah, it's almost like it didn't actually read the transcript or go into the video itself. So it's my prompt. When it comes to these tools, when you get results like this, it's the prompt. So basically, like whatever, the way that I asked it that, it just wasn't right. So I would have to work on that. But if you are using tools like this, like Gemini or ChatGPT, if you don't get the results that you want out of them, working on a
different way.
Working on the prompt itself is usually the solution to that, because a lot of people, well, I can't say a lot of people, but I know people that they immediately, if they don't get like the result that they want, like right out of the gate, then they throw up their hands and like, oh yeah, this thing's stupid, this sucks, and then they'll just kind of move on. But if you kind of fail at the result like I just did, then keep working on it, and and you'll get it. But when it comes to Gemini, that I wasn't too thrilled about that particular version, but it was my fault.
Yeah, user error. You have to learn how to ask the right questions. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I learned early on. Is I did a live stream when GPT first came onto the scene, mm-hmm. and I tested it on titles. I was like, I have to do immediately. I have to do a stream on this immediately. Yeah. And I came in here and did a stream on it immediately. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, you got to see this, because it was like a game changer at that point.
Yeah.
But you have to learn how to ask the right questions. You have to give it the right context so it knows how to ask, so it knows how to give you the right answer.
Right.
So once you learn how to do that, then it becomes really, really powerful.
Yeah. Other things that can be helpful also, and you can do this in ChatGPT, is like in that same exact scenario, because I was just trying to do it quickly while we were live here, but basically putting a prompt in there, and if it can go look at the actual video itself, that's fantastic, but giving it additional information. So like if we were going to spend time on that, then what we would do is I would do the prompt itself. I would have it actually looking at the video, or just kind of link the video so it has that context. Then I would go grab the transcript with timestamps. This part's important. Grab it with timestamps, drop that transcript in there, and then I would go take a screenshot of my audience retention report, my absolute audience retention report, and then make sure that the numbers down at the bottom are also visible with the audience retention report. And I would also drop that in there, and then I would try to get some context based on how people responded to it. But when you do give it more information like that, at least I found with ChatGPT, it gives you a lot better results when it comes back in terms of the changes that you can make. Christina Smallhorn in the house. Hope that you are doing great.
Hey, Christina.
Says, about Anapasto or Coldplay on the frosted glass at the bank? I just need to know that your algorithms are the same in Thailand. So I don't know about the. Oh yeah, I do know about the frosted glass at the bank. That was hilarious.
What happened with the frosted glass?
I also
at the bank?
do know about the Coldplay thing, but I don't know about the Anapasto thing.
What happened with the bank?
So people were caught doing. They thought that they had privacy, and it was just frosted glass at the bank.
Okay.
And they were in there doing things that you would not want to do in public.
At the bank?
Yeah.
Like collecting money?
Yeah, like inside of like a manager. I don't know if it's a manager's, but it's inside of one of the offices at the bank.
They were depositing money.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Coldplay. Yep. Man, of all the ways to get caught cheating.
I know, right?
At a Coldplay concert on the what camera is that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a jumbotron. That's what they have at like the sports events. Right. I'm not sure about if it's called the same thing there.
Yeah, man, that's just humiliating beyond words.
It is.
But I'm glad they got caught.
Yeah.
Cheaters.
Right.
Gotcha.
That's what you get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, you found out.
At a Coldplay concert.
Yep. Boy, did you find out.
Oh,
right?
Man.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
All the other cheaters at the Coldplay concert were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that wasn't me."
Right? They were all like "Whew, that could have been any one of us."
Yeah.
There with your side piece.
So Melinda, what's going on? Hope you're doing great. Build and Fix with Mooney. What's going on? Nice to see you.
Important internet questions.
Yep.
Thank you, Christina, for keeping us grounded, checking in on us on the other side of the world.
Yep, making sure we're getting the information.
To make sure that the information traveled this far.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The internet made sure that it traveled this far.
Yep.
During a Coldplay. Listen, of all the concerts, a Coldplay concert. Have you ever seen Coldplay live? Yeah, it's a good time. No. I'm a big Coldplay fan.
I'll listen to them when they come up, but I don't ever seek them out.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm never like, oh, I want to hear that Coldplay song.
I'm not a big fan of their newest stuff, but like some of their first few albums. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Great concert.
Exceptional Indie Games is our next question here. They upload 1 time per week or more. The channel is showcasing indie games. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what they like. And the question is, I seem to have hit a bit of a rough patch, or at least it feels that way. The last 4 videos have gotten very little impressions, let alone views. Is it normal for this to happen from time to time? Yeah, it is. 2 to 3 months ago, videos were getting above 10,000 impressions, which is a lot for me, now less than 1,000. Would you advise to change up my thumbnail style and videos themselves, or try to recover somewhat, or stay the course and just try to keep improving videos every time? So I can't emphasize this enough, but when it comes to videos, the topics are extremely important, like the very specific things that you're making videos about, because your titles and thumbnails like express those things, but the topic itself is huge. And when it comes to indie games, a lot of times people will optimize the packaging, and it looks like you're doing this. Like you have stealth ninjas, space battles, and guitar fights. But on this one, you have this $10 horror game will haunt you. That's a better approach, right? So what you're doing there is okay. But, when people are optimizing them around, the actual game, and not a lot of people know about the game, then it's instantly limiting, right? So when it comes to, videos underperforming, a lot of times it'll come down to the topic itself. And then, of course, you have the other things too, like, once people, if the video is of interest to a lot of people, once people do go and they start interacting with it, how are they responding to that video, right?
No.
So there's a lot of variables there.
Completely unrelated. I just opened up the YouTube browser here. Shorts, of course.
Yeah.
Right here in the shorts was David Foster.
Oh, nice.
Our condo was flooding.
Oh, really?
They're flooding down there. He had the so down by the river. Yeah, it's all like all the water's coming in.
Is it raining that much right now?
It's coming from the river.
Oh, I didn't know the river was flooding up. I didn't know I didn't see any news on that or anything.
Oh yeah, they're like pretty close to knee deep already. I think
wow.
over there.
Oh, interesting.
Or maybe not knee deep, and it's they will be probably, but he just uploaded it an hour ago.
Oh man, so we'll see. We might see some of that on the way
home.
Yeah, on the way home.
We have a problem here where we live, the city where we live, is anytime there's a really hard rain, we have a big river, and that river will overflow, and parts of the city are in flood zones.
Yeah,
and they'll flood a lot. And David, some of you might know David Foster. He's here now, and his area is getting flooded. He's like, our condo's flooding, and he's out there on the street, and the whole street's like a little river.
Gacky's Kitchen is the next channel. They upload every other day. The type of channel is a cooking channel. The goal of the channel is to make money. The question is, what can I do to attract a broader global audience? Most of my audience is in Kenya, and the RPM here is very low. So when it comes to a global audience on your YouTube channel, as long as you are making your videos in English and everything about those videos is in English, and it's like if somebody that is English speaking, as long as they can clearly understand everything and all of that, then you can be fine. Just publishing the videos themselves, is okay, as long as when, somebody that is in another country, as long as they respond well to the content, then YouTube will continue to show the videos to people in those countries. So, just being in a location doesn't necessarily mean that you're locked into that location, but the content itself has to be something that people in the countries that you're trying to have your videos show up in, and it's got to be something that they respond well to. So like YouTube doesn't make an effort. They do have, localization in some countries. Like for example, here in Thailand, they do have a localized version of YouTube here. So if you go to that version, almost everything is in Thai language. Yeah. Like the thumbnails are in Thai, the titles are in Thai, they're spoken in Thai, like everything about them is in Thai. And that usually happens in like the localized versions. But even there, uploading, here, because I upload my videos here, and they still, get in front of a Western audience. Let's see here. So next up, we've got Bad Guys Podcast. They
like the sound of that.
Daily content. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what they like. And the question is, how do I grow my page? How do I get the subscribers that are into my content? You got to make content for them. You got to make content that adds value to them in some way. So by value, I don't mean that you have to be making how-to content or that you have to be teaching people stuff. I mean that the content has to add value to them in some way. Entertainment, like real entertainment, is value, motivations, value, things like that. But in your particular case, because you're doing a podcast on hip hop, sports, and current events, in that particular case, if people do get entertainment or information, out of that, then as long as they enjoy it, then you will get subscribers, you will get more activity on them. But a few things just to think about, and really quick. I just want to say Tommy T's Extreme Roller Coasters, thanks for the super chat. I will get to that right here after this question. But I'm going to pull up your channel here really quick, and I'm just going to see what it is that you are doing. And it looks like, okay, yeah, so right out of the gate, like you need to, make, custom thumbnails, like you're breaking general best practices. So like you're starting the title with like episode 95, things like that. Like avoid those types of things. Start using, custom thumbnails. Like right now, it looks like you're just kind of turning on the camera and just kind of, talking to the camera. And really, this might even be audio only. Oh no, okay, you are talking to it. So yeah, you got to learn how to do some of those things in terms of making some custom thumbnails. It looks like you have one in here, but making custom thumbnails, making the titles compelling, making the topics about something that people will care about. Like here, I'm just going to give you an example. So I'm just going to pull this up on screen to show you what I mean. So right here, if we look at this particular video right here, right, then if we look at this thumbnail, one, the thumbnail doesn't give us any context to what you're talking about. Two, if we look at the title, episode 95, The Fight Is On, that also doesn't tell us anything. So what you have to do when it comes to YouTube is you have to remember that when you are publishing content, what's in that content, but the people that YouTube is presenting that content to on their platform, they don't know. Right, so for them, they just see a dude right there, right in the photo, and then they in your thumbnail, and then they go down to your title, and there's no information for them. So because of that, they can't make a good decision on that video because there's no information. And when it comes to YouTube, you're competing with everything that YouTube thinks is a good fit for the viewers that you're trying to reach. So because of that, you have to be able to grab their attention around things that they care about, and then you have to be making content that is of interest to them and make it clear from the outside what that content might be, about. Yeah, and also like when it comes to that, like one of the things also there was that like by putting the episode numbers at the front, what you're doing is you are basically focusing the important part of that title on the episode number versus focusing on something that viewers would care about. The best practice when it comes to YouTube, title first, like a real title, and then if you're going to add episode numbers, which you don't have to do, but if you're going to, then put those at the end of the title. Next up.
Did you hear that next door?
Yeah, I did.
Is that upstairs?
Next up, we have the Dr. Vibe Show. Dr. Vibe Show uploads one time per week or more, been on YouTube for a year or more, type of channel. We actually answered one from him already, but I'm going to go ahead and answer another one.
Says, Dr. Vibe.
Yep. Says, appreciate you, D.
Hey, appreciate you too, man.
Oh, appreciate you and D.
Oh.
Says,
you built me up there.
Thanks, appreciate you too.
Yeah. I thought it was like, appreciate you, D. And I was like,
so all right, this is like all you.
Yeah.
This is great.
I was like, all right. And then you kind of like, you built me up. And then
no, it actually is. Yeah, appreciate you, D. Yeah. So I messed that up there. Yeah. So question, you always talk about the importance of titles for YouTube videos. One of the shows that I host is a weekly show called Primetime Saturday with Aisha and La. It's a show where two black women try to sense the nonsense that is happening in America. Which of these is a better title and why? Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala, July 19th, 2025, or MAGA influencers line up behind Trump after days of pressuring administration for more on Epstein. Definitely the second one, but it's too long.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, so let's talk about why.
Yeah.
So when you do Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala, For that, people have to know what your primetime Saturday show even is in the first place to make that accessible for them or to make it to where they even care.
Yep.
2, they also have to know who Aisha and Lala are in order for them to care.
Right.
3rd is you have the date on there, and that date on there is going to work against you in terms of after that date is passed, then it starts to become irrelevant really quick. So on the other one, MAGA influencers line up behind Trump after days of pressuring administration for more on Epstein. In that case, it's clear, right? You have, the mega influencers line up. So anybody on either side of that fence, that'll grab their attention. And then you give information about what the conversation is actually about. So I would make it shorter, but the approach that you're taking on the second version is without question the better version. Magic Prepper, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing great.
Yeah. Yeah,
you agree?
Second title by far.
Yeah.
It's just too long.
Yeah.
Condense that. Nobody's reading all that.
Yeah.
Nobody's got time to read all that.
Right, cut it in half.
Plus, it's going to get truncated. It's going to get cut off.
Yeah, that's the important part.
Yeah, it's going to get cut off. So they're not going to be able to read all of that. Just think about, okay, what are some things that, because you're obviously covering something that's controversial right now. So what are the main things in this that are controversial? And then shorten it and try to get those controversial points in there.
So really quick, Tommy T's Extreme Roller Coasters. What's going on, dude? Thanks for the super chat. Says, hey guys, I want to promote a contest where I give cash prizes for best videos that shows parents filming their kids watching my videos. How can I go about that? Let's see here. So basically, you're going to need a way to choose who the winners are. So with that, you can take each submission that you get and you can drop it into a spreadsheet. And with that, you can give like little notes, for why you think that submission is good or not. When it comes to them submitting the files to you, you can have them just upload the video to YouTube and then send a link to that video via email to just set up an email address specifically for that, and you can have them send it there. Or actually, a better approach, so that you don't even have to worry about the email side, is set up a Google form. And then on the Google form, because I don't know if you're going to show the video or not, because it has kids, I wouldn't, unless you have them like completely blurred out. But basically, on the Google form, you could have it to where, add the link to your video, give me your name, I need your email so you can contact them if they're the winner, and then have something in there that gives you permission, like some type of box they have to check that gives you permission to, maybe show that video when it comes to the contest. As a part of that with the contest, when you're making the announcement for that contest, you also want to make sure that in your video description that you do have, like YouTube has requirements for giveaways. You want to make sure that you do add those requirements to your description as well. If you just type into Google search, if you type in YouTube giveaway requirements, then just look for one of the pages that's an official Google website, and then go there, and then it's going to tell you exactly what you need in terms of their side of things and what you need to add to your video description. And then out of those things, I think you're good, because you'll have a way to contact them if they win. You'll have a way for them to submit their videos because they'll have to upload them to YouTube, but they'll send you a link, and then you're organizing it all in a spreadsheet. You can actually export the information directly out of Google Forms. You don't have to do anything extra there. And then you're following YouTube's giveaway rules. So yeah, I think that's got you covered.
Milner Man says, still no views 10 years in.
Yikes.
Need to rethink what you're doing. Need to rethink your approach.
I'm just going to go to their channel real quick and see what they're doing. It looks like your oldest video. Oh, no, I do see one here. Sorry. Yeah, 10 years. Yikes. Yeah. So in your case, like if you're not getting any traction, after that time, I would definitely be just, I'd dig really hard into like learning the skills related to, what it is that, all the skills related to being a content creator. Because you might be, just uploading, the content that you're making, but not actively trying to improve all the time. You might be, don't know, but I would definitely spend an extensive amount of time working on the skill sets to kind of get you there. because this stuff's hard, right? Like, you know, we can all acknowledge that. Like, it's hard. Like, it's hard coming up with good video ideas. It's hard to write titles. It's hard making thumbnails. It's hard to make, you know, good content that keeps people watching. That's why every video that's on YouTube doesn't just, you know, blow up, you know, because it's challenging. So so because of that, just embrace that and be like, okay, I need to, you know, learn how to do these things if I want my videos to compete on the platform. Next up, we got Geology Dude. What's happening, man? Does science education content. Goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, 60% of my viewers use VPN, a larger audience than my largest country. These non-English speakers use VPN as a stealth mode to bypass internet access limits related to their country. These stealth viewers don't leave comments, likes, and subs because they don't want to be tracked. This low engagement is affecting channel growth. Should I embrace this audience or should I abandon this audience? If they are interacting with your content, then in that case, you know, I don't think that you should abandon them. If you have, you know, other people that are also watching the content, then in that case, you know, you're going to be fine. And in terms of them like not commenting and subscribing and liking, that's okay. Like if they watch the videos and they are enjoying the videos and they're watching the videos for a long enough time that YouTube deems that experience that they're having as a satisfactory experience, then they don't have to do all the other things, right? They can, and it's like, it's good, but they don't have to do all those things in order for it still to be deemed as a, you know, as a good experience for people. Had a comment coming in from LinkedIn here, says, wow, that's got to be the cleanest stream I've ever seen via StreamYard. OMG, Geology Dude, we've subscribed to each other. Nice. So next up on the list here, we have Milnerman. Milnerman does gaming content. Says, can you give me tips on how you think that I can improve my channel? So this is the one that we actually just mentioned before that's been uploading for 10 years and they aren't anywhere. So I already referenced them, so I'm going to move on to the next one. So next question that we have here is from West of Neverland. West of Neverland has been making videos for less than 6 months. They do Disney history educational content. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, can you give a quick review of my titles and thumbnails and possibly a hook of one of my non-compilation videos? I want to make sure I'm doing all I can to get people engaged in my video packaging. So I can look at your channel, but when it comes to your video content, we don't play videos here. And the reason for that is because of copyright, you know, all of that stuff. Oh, okay, yeah, I've had your channel up here before. So yeah, so still the same in terms of the that. But a couple things that I will just mention here really quick, and this is just, you know, at a glance. So right here, if we look at, oops, there we go. Right here, if we look at this video, this one is more clear, right? You have Mickey Mouse here. Let's just make this thumbnail bigger. So here, crystal clear, you've got Mickey Mouse on here, and it really grabs attention, and you know, you got Mickey Mouse words up there, all of that. So this is really clearly has something to do with at least Mickey Mouse or Disney, right? So it's super easy to identify at a glance. This one, on the other hand, because it's in black and white, this one's more challenging, right? So it can still stand out, but because you have all of this other color over here, all of this other color is taking attention away from the thing that you're actually wanting to bring attention to there. So because of that, I think that particular approach is working against you. I don't know if they even have a colored version of this because you're talking about the history of Disney. If not, then there's nothing you can do there. You know, I would try to maybe make this bigger or make the whole entire thumbnail black and white. Maybe put, you know, a circle, like a colored circle around the skeleton dance or something like that, that might help people, you know, more easily recognize what's going on there. Or maybe even crop it into where you have just this area up here as, you know, the main area so that they see the Disney a little bit better. But yeah, I would work on this particular one to try to figure out how you can make that, you know, kind of stand out a little bit more and make it more clear that it has something to do with Disney at a glance. Other things is if you look right down here, you can see with your silly, what's it called? Silly Symphony. So I had to click in on this just so I could read it because it's kind of challenging to read at a smaller size here. On like a mobile device, this is probably going to be okay. But in some instances, some of the text on here is definitely challenging when it comes to just that instant clarity of what might be going on here. So I would simplify that kind of fancy, type of letters as well. Same thing here with like the dreams, But yeah, with this one, oh, nice. You got 18,000 views on this one. But yeah, like in a situation like this, right? This is what you're going for here, right? To where you just have like that clarity in terms of what this might be about at a glance. And then from there, they can, click on the title to see, what's going on there. All right. So next up, we've got Melinda. Thank you for 32 months as a channel member. Appreciate it. Glad that you are getting that value out of the content. You just got an advertisement in the chat? No, you shouldn't have. I didn't hit any buttons here to trigger any ads, so you should not have gotten an ad. That's interesting. Did it show up in the actual chat box itself? That's interesting. Like in the actual live chat itself, is that where it showed up? Interesting. So next up, we've got Boardwalk Studios. They upload when they have time. They do art, journey, and education. Oh, it's over the chat box. Oh, interesting. Huh. Yeah, I've never seen that before. Them showing an ad over the chat box. Yep. Premium for the win, right? So SMA Sky says there's some ads that play an ad above the chat box. Okay, so there we go. But they upload when they have time. They do art, journey, and education content. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what they like. And the question is there a limit to the number of information cards you can use or put in your video before posting the video? So when it comes to the info cards, I'm sure there is a limit based on the amount of space there. But one thing that you want to think about is, you don't want to just fill it up with info cards. You want people to watch the video that, that they're coming in on, and you want to use those info cards as a way to reference other content that you have published. And you don't want to, just constantly have those info cards, popping up as they're watching. In fact, YouTube, they actually have recommended that you, in the past, they recommend that you save any info cards in your video for the last 20% of your video. And the reason for that is because if somebody's watching the video and they're enjoying the video, you don't want a bunch of people leaving that video to go watch another video and essentially sacrifice that video that they're watching. So because of that, the general recommendation there is that you save the info cards for the last 20% of the video. Yeah, I've never tried to max out info cards before. That's interesting. So next up, we've got Life with Ricky. Life with Ricky has been making videos for less than a year. The type of channel is family-friendly comedy skits. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I understand the YouTube algorithm scans other platforms on the internet to see if the same video you're uploading has already been uploaded. If the algorithm finds your video on TikTok, does that hurt your channel's discoverability within the YouTube's algorithm? Is it better to be exclusive to YouTube only? I'm not sure if they do that or not. I have never seen anything official from YouTube saying that they do that. I have seen information where they have mentioned in the past, I don't know if they're still doing this or not, but TikTok has mentioned this in the past and YouTube has mentioned in the past that they do kind of penalize content that is uploaded that includes watermarks of other platforms. But I don't know if they're actually scanning the other platforms, because the reason I don't think that they're doing that is because I know when it comes to that sort of thing that that's generally like scraping other platforms, which is what would be required for that, is generally a terms of service violation for any platform. Nobody wants you scraping their stuff. So if YouTube is scraping TikTok, unless they had an agreement in place, then that would be violating that unless they're doing it through an API or something like that. But to my based on my understanding of terms of service related things, I would say that that's probably not happening, but I don't know what they're doing on the back end as it regards as it relates to other platforms. K&J Lumber, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. So next up, we got Camperski EAFC 26. They upload 1 time per week or more. They do gaming content. The goal of the channel is to make money. It says, can you check my thumbnails, give your feedback? And my shorts don't get that much views, even though the metrics are decent, 80 to 90% watched. Okay, so let's look at your thumbnails. Yeah, keep in mind when it comes to, thumbnails, or sorry, shorts, you also have to remember that when it comes to shorts that, the actual topic of the short, is also, impactful in terms of, YouTube being able to align that with people that might be interested in that video. Okay, let's see what you got here. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this up. All right, Prepare says this stuff is hard enough. Focused energy on one platform. Yeah, so I've been doing something interesting lately. For the past 2 months, I've been doing almost daily vertical content on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and out of those, I've taken some of them and put them on YouTube as well. I've uploaded some, I think 1 or 2 over to Clapper, but basically I've been trying to just kind of ramp up, just being in other places as well, and. Yeah, it's just been interesting just in terms of, messing with the other platforms because I've been so focused on YouTube for so long and just haven't really cared about the other platforms. I put content there, but haven't really cared. So now it's just been interesting just kind of watching, just how, things perform over there and trying to, just kind of get an understanding of, how those platforms work. It's pretty interesting. So on this channel here, which I'll pull up here real quick. Welcome back, D.
Thank you.
So here, you wanted feedback on your thumbnail, so I'm not sure in Belgique Copen. I'm not sure what that is. Is this another language? Zonder, yes. Blah, blah. Oh, okay, yeah, there's another language. So yeah, I can't really give tons of feedback, but one thing that I can say is that I can identify the EA Sports logo. I can identify the FC26. The trailer pre-order, I can see that. That's clearly in English. Yeah. So in terms of these types of things, helping people identify it, I can see that you're doing that thing there, but I can't read your titles. I can't read the text that's on your titles. So I'm not going to be able to really dig into these too much.
Graphically, they look okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what they say, but I don't cringe when I look at them. They look like they're well put together. You're going to have to look at your data to see if they're effective or not.
Duralum Vox, Voice of Pain.
Voice of Pain.
They upload 1 time per week or more. The type of channel is Music Plus. Interesting. They goal of channels to make money. And the question is, want to get your overall feeling of what you see. Well, right now, I'm looking around the room. I see my brother. It's always nice to see my brother. We're in a fun, setup over here. That feels pretty cool. Yeah.
That's what I see.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's what I see too.
Yeah. So like that.
Yeah. Next.
But I think you met your channel though. So let me let me take a look at that and see what's going on there.
Oh. Specifics, people.
Got to make it clear. Clear. Okay, so first impressions here. So here I have no idea what it is that you do. So here you have channel information. You have DeLorean Vox. You have all of this space right here to let me know what it is that you're doing, but I'm not sure.
Let me tell you this right now.
Tell me now. Wait. Okay, now.
I have no idea what DeLorean Box is, nor do I care what DeLorean Box is. It means nothing to me at a glance.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if I'm your target audience. I don't know what your channel's about to even tell you if I'm your target audience or not. Okay, techno poetry. I'm not sure what techno poetry is. Maybe it's poetry. Maybe it's poetry set to techno. I'm not sure. But I can tell you that your DeLorean box that you're putting on top of everything, it doesn't mean anything. You don't have to put your channel name everywhere. What's more important than your channel name going into your graphics is telling me what your channel's about.
Yes.
So instead of DeLorean Box up in your channel art, that would be a great place to just give me a very short sentence or a few words to let me know what you're doing. Going into your About Me page or your About Me pop-up here, I still don't think it says anything. Does it?
No, it's got like co-host.
So it's a podcast.
I don't even see that. Like I don't know if it's a podcast or if it's
Streaming,
just like the
looking to level
host
up.
of the thing. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you got like affiliate links to StreamYard here. Like, yeah, like some of this doesn't make sense.
Okay, so what I want you to do, I want you to think about what a viewer is going to think. You just saw our reaction.
Yeah.
We don't know what your channel is about. So if you were like, hey, what do you think about my channel? I can tell you I have no idea what it's about, and we've been looking at it now for about 2 minutes. And I still have no idea what it's about without clicking into your videos. So you have to think about it from the viewer of the perspective of a viewer. A viewer is going to give you, if one of these videos pop up and it's recommended to them, looking at a thumbnail, go back to one of the techno poetry.
Right here?
Yeah, when Buddha calls techno poetry. That, yeah, let's just look at that for a second. The viewer is going to give you less than a second when they're scrolling. Less than a second. So what you have to do in this package here, and by package I say your title, your thumbnail, and the overall idea of what your video is about. You have to get their attention, let them know what this video is about, or create some sort of curiosity or pique their interest in some way so that they're going to be compelled to click in to learn more. Again, I'm not your target audience, so you might be speaking specifically to a certain type of person who knows what techno poetry is. But if YouTube were to recommend this to me, I can tell you with absolute certainty that I don't know what techno poetry is. When my Buddha calls, is this music? I have to read your title to understand that it's with DJ Ollie. Okay, so I'm assuming that you're playing music. Techno poetry. Okay, so maybe
they mentioned in the form that they do.
Well, I don't want to know what the form says.
Okay,
I'm looking
perfect.
at.
Go D.
I'm looking at this as a viewer would look at this. If YouTube recommended this to me, that this is the feedback I'm giving you. YouTube recommends this to me. At a glance, I'm talking. You have less than a second. I need to know that this is music, and you're reading poetry. What I get from here, I see a YouTube button. I see the creation fingers. I see when my Buddha calls. The only thing in here that makes me even think it could be music related is you have techno and you have DJ Ollie in your title. There's nothing else that even gives me a hint that this is music or DJ. What I would do, if that's what you're doing, and that's what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
So think about this. What imagery could you show someone to let a person know that there's a DJ playing something? Show the DJ. Show the records, show the turntables, or whatever it is that you're showing. Show someone actually playing. Show the room. Show that there's somebody playing music. Show that there's a DJ. And then maybe put some quotes of the poem or something up there. You think about the imagery that you need to show somebody within a split second. The imagery you have is not telling me anything. And I'm not going to give you enough time to try to figure out what's going on. I'm just going to scroll right past you. So think about the imagery that's going to stop somebody from scrolling. If I'm interested in music, you better show me something where I go, oh, it's a DJ. I love DJ stuff.
Right.
Let's see what's going on here. That's my feedback to you at a glance. And all of the branding for the Devox, what's their channel name again? DeLorean Vox.
Yeah.
That doesn't, as someone who doesn't know you, that doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
What do you want to what do you want to be known for? If you're a DJ and you're doing poetry and you're reading poetry to techno, you need to reframe your entire branding to let somebody know who lands on your packet, lands on your channel within a split second what your channel's about.
Other things too.
Lickety split. It has to be clear, man. It has to be clear.
Other things too is you are building everything. Basically, you're betting all of your cards around people caring about what this is.
I don't even know what that means.
Right?
Is that a song?
Right. I don't know. But yeah, you have like when my Buddha arrives. So I don't know if that's your song name. I don't know if it's like you're remixing a song or if you're covering a song or I don't know what you're doing there. So when it comes to writing titles for music related stuff, it can be helpful to make it more about the viewer than the song name or you. And by doing that, yeah, go ahead.
How will this make me feel?
Yes.
Right. If you're DJing something or some techno poetry, what's the mood? What's the vibe? How is it going to make me feel? That's more important to me than the name that I don't know anything about.
Yeah. Yeah. And content like this, like you don't need stuff like this. Like here, call to action, like, comment, subscribe. Like, yeah, you don't need, stuff like this when it comes to thumbnails. So yeah, like, everything that Dee was saying there.
Do this really quick. Do a search for DJ poetry. And let's look at what some others in this niche are doing. And look at they're not doing well, but at least I know it was a DJ.
Yeah, one here with 87,000 views on it.
What do they got? Are they known, DJ Markey?
UKF Drum and Bass. So yeah, they're verified. They have a verified
even
channel.
just
So
underneath it, yeah. Common Poetry. You have
right here.
You have them playing I know. I don't even have to look at the title, and I know that they're playing music.
Yeah.
And kissing and smooching. Gotcha, like at the Coldplay
got 'em,
concert.
Yeah,
Got
it's
'em.
like out of Coldplay. Yeah,
Got
Coldplay.
'em. Right. So as you scroll through this stuff, you're looking at, if that title didn't exist and all you had was that image, would that image communicate to me that you're playing music, that you're a DJ? That's the first thing I would go for with your channel. Yeah, it's good that you're uploading, and I'm a musician and I love techno, so it's cool that you're doing all this stuff. But you need to really kind of pause. You need to pause and think about what imagery can I use, what messaging can I use, so that in an instant people can understand what's happening with the video and what's happening on the channel. And think about, instead of titles, unless those are famous songs. Right? If you're doing some version of a famous song, then that might make sense. And if so, you might want to put that artist name in there as well. But if those are original songs,
still need work on the thumbnail imagery.
Still need work on the thumbnail
Thumbnails
imagery. But I would be more interested in how this would make me feel. Is it upbeat? Is it chill? Is it trip hop? Is it you know what I mean? Like what is it? What's the vibe? Let me know.
Magic Prepper says, hey, wait, does D make all the creator mix music or any certain music on the website?
Yes. Not all, but some, yeah.
So Cafe Arts is the next channel here. Uploads one time per week or more. She does art and writing content. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what she likes. And the question is, can you give me some feedback on knowing better thumbnails, optimizing titles, descriptions, and so on? Let's take a look. Let's take a gander. See what you're doing. And by the way, just as a quick reminder here. Oh,
no. I see it. I see the monkey.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I followed your link. Yeah, I followed your link, and it's not. Yeah, it's not showing up here. Hold on, let me. I think she put an H in here, maybe.
Oh, put the wrong one.
No, it's not showing up either. Yeah, so the channel isn't coming up.
Weird.
Yep. So if you want to put it back in there and give me the right link for it, then I can pull it up later if we get to that one, which we should, because we're just a couple away from it from running out of questions.
All I see is the monkey.
But the next one is from DeLorean Vlogs, Voice of Pain. Also says thanks, very helpful. Okay, cool. And then the next one here says Joshua's Journey. Joshua's Journey does bi-weekly content, but on YouTube for a year or more. They do travel content. The goal of the channel is to have fun. And the question is, should I not concentrate on entertainment and bring more value to the viewer? Koh Samui, free itinerary, did the best, and I think it's because of the free itinerary. So this is
what did the best?
Koh Samui, yeah, they're in Thailand, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So when it comes to deciding on the content that you want to put on the channel, the very first thing that I would think about is like, what are you wanting to build the channel into?
What do you want to do with your life?
Yeah, and what are you trying to build the channel into? What type of viewers are you trying to attract to the channel? And like, what type of content do you think that you're going to enjoy making? So if you enjoy the entertainment stuff and you want to build audience around that, then you need to learn how to do that in a way that it'll cause, that people will respond to it better. But if you're like, I'm fine doing these itineraries and stuff like that, if people respond to them, because that will also help me achieve whatever goal that you are after, then in that case you can lean more into that. So it's not as much about should I concentrate on entertainment or bringing value to the viewer. I mean, entertainment is value, also, but basically thinking of it through the lens of like, what am I trying to build here, and what content do I need to make in order to build it, right? I'll just click on your channel name here. Cafe Arts. Go to channel. Okay. I'll just put it in the queue over here. But basically, I'm looking at your channel right now. Joshua's Journey. Nice. Got the elephants. Super cool. Let me go to your videos.
Are you pulling them up? I can't see it.
Yeah, I'm just doing a quick look here.
Is it a Thailand travel channel?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh,
we
cool.
got one about Mexico City in here. Yeah, we'll pull it up real quick.
Let's go.
So I'm looking at your videos page. I'm looking at your popular videos. So I see that you have your ultimate travel guide that you did 5 months ago. Here you're down in like Cancun, Mexico. So you're kind of bouncing around a little bit, which is cool. But when it comes to deciding on the content that you want to make, some things to think about. So
hold on, is that elephant taking the picture? What's going on there?
Right here?
Look at the profile picture.
It does. It looks like an elephant selfie.
It looks like the elephant
That's cool.
the selfie.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
That's great.
That is. So when it comes to, deciding on the content that you're going to be putting out, like you might have found something in terms of, that direct, immediate value with the itineraries. You might have found something there to where people are like, hey, I find that super useful, and people might respond to that better than the vlogs. But in your case, if you enjoyed on the vlogs more and you want to do that, then, trying to learn how to make them in a way that people will respond better would be the move in that particular situation. But yeah, I would just start at the root, man. Like, just start at the root and be like, okay, what I really want to do with this, what I really want to turn it into. Because I know your goal was just to have fun, but just thinking about it, like, okay, what, like, if I could imagine that everything went perfectly with my YouTube channel over the next 365 days, at the end of that 365 days, what would it look like specifically in detail? Mm-hmm. So, for example, what type of content would be on the channel? What would I be doing every day? That would be supportive of the YouTube channel. Where would I be making videos from? What exactly would people be coming to my channel for? Those types of things. And then I would start trying to design, that version of your channel. Really quick, Home Rapid Repair says, yes, Nick, I've noticed not only are you an app creator now, you also have been putting out a ton more content on many platforms. Yeah. Yes, I've been super busy lately, and it's been fun. So and also with that app, I also put out a browser extension too, and I just mentioned it during the live stream last week. I think I mentioned it on X too, but with that, just trying to, figure out how all that stuff works and, just trying to do more. So now that I have the systems in place to, put out the vertical content on the other platforms more, and then I have my time carved out to work on the apps and stuff like that. Now my next thing is to, increase my consistency here on my, on the most important thing that I do, which is my main YouTube channel, increasing my, consistency and what it is that I do here.
On the grind.
Yep.
I believe that's what they say.
Mm-hmm. So Cafe Fit, here we go. Boom. So here she wanted feedback on her thumbnails and titles. So a couple things. One is drawing my OC as a gender bender. So if we look at this right here, this doesn't give a ton of context. I'm not sure what an OC is. Right. So like, okay, let's say that I've never.
Do you ever feel that you're just old and you're like missing out on things like that? Like when people say,
like what is OC or like a game that's being played that I'm like out of the loop on. Stuff like
somebody
that.
say something, you're just like, I know I'm going to say this, and like half the chat's gonna go like, dude, that's like, how do you not know that?
Right.
Right.
How do you not know what OC is, dude? Come on.
Right.
Yeah. But. Oh, original character. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Game Busters. Of course, Game Busters. Like, oh yeah, I got this.
There you go.
Yep.
See?
Yep. So, so a couple of things. So the very first is, just that, clarity. But I guess the people that you're trying to reach will know what that means. So you're in the clear there. Number two is when it comes to your videos, if you're doing a landscape video, make a landscape thumbnail and make the actual content landscape as well.
Don't be lazy.
Right.
That's just being lazy.
It is.
Come on.
Yep. So same exact thing here. You got a vertical video that you're cramming into, like a landscape, format over here. So I'm going to guess if I click on this, that it might even show up vertical. Yeah. So yeah, what I would do is I would think about, okay, if I'm wanting people to watch this on a TV or a computer, and I'm wanting to make it easy for people to find what they need directly here from my YouTube channel, then in that case, I want to, make sure that I have this making sense for that experience. And then you mentioned right here to look at your lives. So live streams, super busy, no clarity on what's happening with these. So here you have like Artist Chill Live.
Is she with Beanie?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. Here you have like Artist Chill Live, right? Which is fine in terms of letting people know what's going on there. Merch Talk, drawing more, but this is something that's super easy to pass up.
Beanie
right?
shaved his head.
He did.
Good job, Beanie. You look great, man.
So if this shows up on somebody's homepage, there's not much here that's like, oh, I need to jump in there and check that out, right? So instead of having like Artist Chill live stream, merch talk and drawing more, I mean, you can do this. This is fine. But like if you're wanting to like pull more people into this and get more people involved, start thinking about it through the lens like, like you're talented, Beanie's talented, both of you are good at what you do in terms of like artistic things. So thinking about it through the lens of like, okay, are we just going to have this hangout, or like what can we do that if somebody's like a new artist and they're trying to figure out how to do this, what can we do to add some value to those people and teach them how to do what we do? What can we talk about to share our experiences here, and how can we express that through our experiences as an artist, and how can we express that through this live stream and through the thumbnail and title that we're putting together for this live stream? But just trying to approach it with more of a, this is what's happening in this video versus like, we're just kind of, hanging out. Because the hanging out stuff is great if there's enough people involved that that when it shows up in front of them, that they're going to come in and hang out, right? But if not, then in that case, you have to entice people to come into the video, and you do that through expressing the value, or your live stream. You do that through expressing the value that's going to be offered from the outside, right? So that's kind of the idea.
I love their streaming together.
Yeah, I do too.
Doing art stuff.
Mm-hmm. Artists doing art stuff.
Yep.
So
Shark Scrapper says, I'm constantly looking up current slang. Yeah, sometimes I see stuff in titles. Mm-hmm. Like when you're looking at a channel and you're like, okay, well, I'm obviously not your target audience. So, I don't want to sound like a complete babbling idiot and just miss something obvious. Right. But like OC.
Yeah, they got us twice in this stream. So we got the OC thing, and I didn't know what the gambling channel was.
Right.
It looked like an anime gaming channel is what it looked like. Yeah.
So I'm guessing though, if you're an artist, if you make,
then you'd connect with that.
Yeah. Right. That's that's my point. That's the language that your target audience would hopefully understand.
Right.
But as you can see, it doesn't necessarily work on a broad audience.
Right.
So if I just happened to run across it and I was in the mood to look at, maybe I was learning how to draw and I didn't know the vocabulary yet. That might not make sense to me.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Got a super chat here, Magic Prepper.
Magic Prepper, thanks for super chat. Says, for the over 300,000 views I've generated using Creator Mix Music, really appreciate what you guys have done there. Awesome.
Awesome, dude. I'm claiming. Glad you're enjoying I'm going to claim all those views tonight. Just kidding. Just kidding, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Glad you're enjoying the music. Shark Scrapper also says, love using Creator Mix. Awesome. Yep. Love it.
So now that I used to go live on Twitch. I've talked about this before. I used to go live on Twitch, and I stopped when I didn't have StreamYard anymore. So now that I have Meld, and I figured out how to hook up Logic Pro to Meld, and we tested it during the live stream, it actually sounds great. So I'm going to start doing streams again over on Twitch, making and mastering new Creator Mix music.
Nice.
I actually have a bunch right now that I have to master before I put up, just to make sure the
volume. You're going to be doing that on Twitch?
On Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you guys want to hang out and listen to new music and kind of go through the mastering process and maybe brainstorming on some new stuff, make sure you follow me over there for those of you who are interested in the music stuff.
Nice. Cackling Chick, what's going on? Welcome to the live stream. Might do one tonight?
I might test one,
Oh, you're doing like late streams.
Yeah, well, like late for us.
Streams, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, we're out of questions, D. So so we can talk about anything. So if you have any questions about anything, you can just go ahead and drop them into the chat right now. But let's talk about your mixing and mastering and all that stuff for your live stream. So I know. So back during like 2020 and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I know I hopped into some of those, but basically what you're doing during those live streams is basically just to hang out and then just kind of showing people what you're doing
on Twitch. Well, yeah. What I was doing before on Twitch was I was just really just like hooking stuff up and just kind of like, okay, I would go live anytime I would get a new plugin. So anytime I would get a new group of sounds to play with, I would go live and just experiment live with the sounds. And a lot of times, like Beanie would be in there, and we would just kind of like, okay, you guys like this sound or not? Okay, let's make something with this sound. What about this? and they'd be like, okay, that sounds great. So we would just kind of like group make some stuff. It was kind of fun. But now, we just talk about whatever.
Nice.
But now that I have some mastering to do to get some new things up there, I think it may be a fun thing to do. As long as it doesn't interfere with, because when you master the stuff, or at least get the levels set up, you have to make sure, like, I'm not making it for radio, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But I got to make sure it doesn't, take away from what I actually need to do. So I'll give it a try.
Nice.
But it's fun.
Really quick, Nick Stratong Equipment says, do you plan on doing more channel reviews on Wednesday? That was great to listen to while I worked. Yes. Yeah, so I've been super busy lately, but yeah, I am. I'm going to start making those like a regular staple. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do one this Wednesday, but I probably will. But I typically will do those like last minute. So with those are just kind of an opportunity to kind of jump in and just kind of help some people out. So with that, like it's usually at the end of my evening here locally that I'll jump in and do those. So I'll usually put out a notice for those like an hour beforehand, maybe two, if I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting finished with everything. Then I'll put out that notice, an hour or two ahead of time. And Joshua's Journey, thanks for Super Chat, says, is my packaging bad? I feel like YouTube does not find the right viewers. What about engagement and my style? Let me go to your channel here and take a look at what you're doing.
Oh, let's have a look.
Yep. Oh, okay. It was Joshua again. So no, it's not. It's not that it's bad.
You pull them up?
Some issues. Yeah, it's the travel channel.
Okay. The same one.
Yeah. So I think your packaging is actually really compelling in terms of the elephant imagery and stuff like that. Like it really stands out. At least on your most recent videos there. I think some of them, like Frontier's Power Trip, like that particular one, not so much, but like the elephant imagery, the Not What I Expected, Chiang Mai, Thailand, rooftop views and food fame and red light regrets, things like that. I think those types of things are good. Like when it comes to Chiang Mai specifically, I would have photoshopped that mountain in the background, Doi Sutep. I would have photoshopped that a little bit better, so it just like really stands out because that's kind of like iconic when it comes to Chiang Mai. But yeah, I think like thumbnails are okay. But one thing that I would consider experimenting with is and I'll pull up your channel again here really quick so you know which one I'm talking about. But like right here, the title of this one is Pai Thailand Elephant Sanctuary Full Walkthrough. So this is one to where when it comes to figuring out what you're going to do with the channel as a whole, this is one where that type of clarity could be really helpful for the content. So here, you are doing this walkthrough. So it's kind of like a review of you're doing for this sanctuary. The problem with this is that if you are doing a review for an elephant sanctuary in Pai, you're really kind of chopping down the amount of people that this is going to be relevant to, right?
The person's going to have to be interested in Thailand, then be interested in northern Thailand,
even know what Pai even is,
and
in
then
the
be
first
interested
place.
in Pai,
right.
and then be interested in elephant sanctuaries.
Right.
So the slice of pie, in terms of the audience that this could appeal to, is small with this packaging.
Yeah.
But everybody loves elephants.
Right.
So maybe with some repackaging, and you might be able to attract a more broad audience there.
Yeah, and even opening it up also, like opening it up and like where you're like, okay, for this, instead of it being like Pai walkthrough, elephant sanctuary full walkthrough, and these types of things start at the video idea, right? So like it might be too late for this one, like if you've made it that way.
Yeah.
But basically, starting at the idea and saying, I'm going to this elephant sanctuary. When I go to this elephant sanctuary, what videos could I make? If the options are these, which ones would I really like to make? And out of these options, which one would be the most relevant to the largest amount of people possible that are within that range of people or that group of people that I'm trying to reach with my content? And then from there, that's when you start thinking about, okay, like what type of imagery could I use for this so you can make sure you get the right photos, and then start thinking about the title that you're going to put together so that you already have that expectation that you're building in mind when you go to make the content. So then that way you can say the right things on camera when you're starting the video and all that stuff. But the way to think about it is okay, if I'm going to be going to this elephant sanctuary, then how could I open this up to make it relevant to the most amount of people? And one of the ways that you could do that is by saying something like, I was completely blown away by this elephant sanctuary in Thailand.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't matter that it was in Pi.
Right.
It matters that, that you had this really cool experience and it was in this elephant sanctuary and it was in Thailand, because a lot more people know what Thailand is compared to the amount of people that know what Pi is. Right.
People who are interested in Thailand and are interested in elephant sanctuaries, they might go to Pi if your video is compelling enough. If they're like, wow, this is an incredible video, I want to go here. Yeah. Versus, here's this elephant sanctuary in Pi. Yeah. If you've never been to Pi, if you've never been to northern Thailand, you're not going to know about Pi.
Right.
So that doesn't really speak to anyone unless they've been to Pi or they're planning on going to Pi. Yep. And if you've already been to Pi, then you've probably already been to the elephant sanctuary. So
yeah, even little details, like you have another one here, and I'm not pulling it back up, but you have like peace, chaos, and elephants. What Pi Thailand taught me, right? That's another one where just removing Pi completely might be the approach there, depending on what you're trying to do, with the channel. If you're trying to create a resource, like, hey, people are going to these locations, they might be searching for this information, therefore I'm going to make solutions for people that are searching for this information about these locations. Yep. Then that approach is fine, because then you're just meeting them where they're at. But if you're trying to get attention from like home pages, suggested videos, and that's where like views come rapidly from those places. So if you're trying to get that type of attention, then that's where you got to really try to think about, how can I make this appeal to a broader audience around, just how do I make it appeal to a broader audience?
Yeah.
And really quick, I saw something here, just making sure I had everything covered. Okay, I did. Okay, we had another question come in here also, so I'm going to answer that. So we have the Black Report. They upload one time per week or more. They do a podcast to document various UFO topics, aliens, cryptoids, ghosts, and all paranormal activity. The question is, my friend and I have just started this channel out, and I would love if you could take a quick look at it and see if we are on the right track. Love your content, and thanks for your time and feedback. I will take a quick look.
Peeking at all the channels today. I love it. Pulling them up right now.
Yep.
All right.
So you've only got 2 videos out.
By the way, I see people in the. It's not a pie as in something you eat. Pie is a.
Yeah, it's a location.
It's a location.
Yeah.
I dare call it a city, or like a.
It's a town.
It's a town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say, but I put out the keyword pie. Also, that videos to see how Uncut Videos does for engagement instead of flashy. Yeah, using the keywords and stuff is fine, but only if you're targeting search. I mean, in some cases it can be helpful, to help people identify that the video is about that thing. However, with something that is so specific as Pi, I believe that it's working against you compared to just using Thailand and trying to make it more, generally appealing. And I think that if you were to start taking the approach with all of the videos that you're publishing to make them more generally or broadly appealing, then I think you would get a better result, because you're not limiting it down to, these very, specific locations, unless you're trying to be that type of resource. If you're trying to be the resource, like I mentioned before, to where people are like, hey, I'm going to Pi, so let me see if there's any videos on things to do in Pi, or, these experiences people are having and they're looking for them there, then in that case, you might be able to show up in YouTube search. But you got to think the amount of people that are going to Pi, and it's, there's a lot of people that go to Pi. However, in terms of just the amount of volume of people that are, interested in Thailand, you might be giving yourself the opportunity to reach more people if you make it more about Thailand than you do about Pi specifically. Mention in the video. Yeah, so I'm here in Pi, Thailand, right? You could even show it on the map, whatever. But mention that you're there, but from the outside, make it about Thailand, right?
Home Rapid Repair says, how majestic elephants in Thailand changed my life. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pie Podcast. Right. We're going to talk about apple pie. We're going to talk about pecan pie. We're also going to talk about villages and townships in Thailand called pie.
Yeah. And pumpkin pie.
And pumpkin pie.
You can't talk about pie without pumpkin pie.
We cannot talk about pie unless we talk about pumpkin pie, which leads us to our first topic, is that
blueberry pie.
Blueberry pie. That's going to be the second topic. We're going to talk about Starbucks pumpkin pie flavor coffee is not sold in Thailand. And that's one of the great things I love about going to the other side of the world in October is to get pumpkin pie flavored lattes.
So the Black Report, So, you've got 2 videos on the channel. So, keep going. I see that you're using AI imagery in here as a part of this. Whatever you said here for tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Black Report, don't do that sort of things in your videos, because when you do, it makes the content instantly dated in terms of, like, that thing could have happened, already, or, whatever the thing is by the time somebody actually watches the video, or they could watch this, a year from now, and that thing isn't happening tomorrow at 8 anymore. So because of that, I would just try to, have limiting things like that out of there.
Let me
also,
can I just jump in there really quick?
Yep.
I'm actually going through my channel right now because I made the mistake. Okay. I get it if you're going to make thumbnails or titles that have a year dated in them, because you can always change them, right? The next year, if it's still relevant, you can change them or you can swap it out. It's easy to change a title, easy to change a thumbnail. But I'm going back through and I'm using YouTube's built-in editor to cut off the beginnings of a lot of videos that are otherwise evergreen. But I dated them at the beginning by saying it's from 2019, 2020, 2021. So yeah, I just want to double down and piggyback on what Nick says and says, absolutely don't date it unless you absolutely have to, because it stamps it at that particular time. In this topic, the mysterious disappearance in the Arizona forest. No one cares when you actually talked about it. All they care about is that mysterious disappearance. When did that happen? Not your podcast. When did the thing disappear? Yeah,
I would also experiment with some longer videos too. Like your setup and everything, all this stuff looks cool.
Yeah, it looks great.
But in terms of the thumbnails, like these look pretty cool. Also. But I would experiment and just see if you get a different response, because right now you're trying to get monetized, all those things. So I would try to make videos that are a little bit longer, so you can just kind of give yourself that chance there. And you can, it's okay to make short videos also, but like I would try to make some longer videos just so if you can get people watching them, that you can, start getting the watch time faster and all that, so you can get to the part of the program.
I like the idea of this channel.
Yeah, I do too.
I like the graphics. I like the idea.
Yeah, it has kind of like that creepy vibe to it.
Yeah,
cool.
I dig it.
Yeah,
I dig it too. Yeah, off to a good start.
And really quick, I saw Stanley Orchard here in the chat.
Stanley.
He mentioned, let me scroll up and find it here. It says, I have a question. If you were to start over from scratch tomorrow, no ability to carry over anything from any channels, what are the top 3 things that you would focus on? How would you do it?
What do you mean nothing to carry over?
So basically, if I just started at 0, nobody knew who I was. I had no channels to like share information about these new channels that I was starting or anything like that. Like,
but
what would I do?
You had the knowledge.
Yeah. Like if I had to start at 0.
Okay.
In that case, the first thing that I would focus on is understanding the people. So I would go and I would join every community that was available around the type of content that I was, going to be making, and I would try to get a good understanding of what those people cared about. I would look for things like, are there certain things that they always talk about? Are there things that, people get upset about when they talk about? And Reddit's great for this. Are there things that people get upset about when they're mentioned? Are there products that people talk about there? Are there, particular YouTube channels that, come up in conversations there? But I would go through and I would look at the current conversations and I would just dig through all the past conversations there. The next thing I would do is I would study the other channels in the niche. Like one of the things that I, always bring to everybody's attention here is how important it is just to kind of pull your content up to other people that are that are thriving in your niche, and just kind of see like, okay, their thumbnail versus my thumbnail. What are they doing in theirs that I'm not, right? Like how are they grabbing attention? And then like, let's see them side by side and see what I'm doing differently with their titles. What are they doing that I'm not? And then clicking into the videos. How are they starting their videos? How am I starting my videos? And then just go through the whole thing that way. But I would, study the niche itself, and then I would get a good understanding of the niche. And then out of those things, then I would also, just knowing what I know of YouTube and the huge opportunity there, I would also start looking into, okay, if this is the niche that I'm getting into, and I understand the audience and I understand the content, then in addition to making the content, I would be thinking like, what are the ways that I could also monetize this so that I would be able to do it as a full-time thing, just because YouTube's awesome when you're, it's like even better when you're a full-time creator. So I would also look at that stuff, and then I would just start making videos based on, what I learned from all of those things. Dia, will you hold this for a second?
I will.
I need to step away for like 30 seconds.
I will cover it. You guys have any questions or anything you want to talk about? Go ahead and put them in the chat. I will cover them the best I can. I have not seen Stanley Orchard's book. Stanley, I didn't know you had a book. We need to get the book on the desk right here. So we're going to have to get that if it is a creator-focused book. Let's see. Sound effect was awesome. The Pi Pod. Yeah, that's what we're going to call this. We're going to call this the Pi Pod moving forward. We're going to change the name from Nimmin Live to the Pi Pod. And you never know where those pivots are going to lead to success. We could be doing all of this wrong. All of this YouTube help, all of the thing trying to help creators grow their channels and their influence and make money. This could be the wrong path for us. Pi could be the right path. Pi Pod, everything changes. That's where we're going to really succeed. That'd be something. Works that way. A lot of people pivot. A lot of people pivot and they go in a different direction. And they find success in other places. I think two of my favorite pivots, one of them is Tom Nash. Tom Nash started out doing YouTube help. And he was, chugging along. He was doing his thing. But he pivoted to finance. And just shot, like a rocket. He found his thing. Tom Nash found his groove. Mm-hmm. And the other one was Professor Nez. Yep. He was doing creator-focused content. Then he started focusing on like current events and controversial stuff. Mm-hmm. Exploded. Yep. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild to see people make those pivots and just explode.
Yeah, it's great.
Explode. Not even like, oh yeah, they're doing better now. No, they exploded. Mm-hmm. I just think that's crazy to see. I love it.
Yeah. So the next question that we have here.
What is your name? I love that you talk slower.
Nice. His name is D.
Yeah.
D the Magnificent, if we're getting into the details, but we call him D the Magnificent.
Hold on. Do I speak slower than he does?
Yeah, I think you do.
Really?
Yeah, I think a little bit. Yeah.
I've never compared that. Yeah. Does he speak faster than I do? Interesting.
Yep. So really quick, Be Amazed says, why does YouTube ask for so many hours on your channel before you can monetize? So a couple things I want you to think about.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Really?
If you are not monetized, is that when it comes to YouTube, even though they're a gigantic, part of a gigantic mega corporation, they still have costs. So, and don't worry, I'm not being sympathetic here, but they do, right? Just from a business perspective, they have costs. And a majority
YouTube shill.
And a majority of the channels that start, or the majority of the creators that start YouTube channels, they never put in the effort to get monetized. They don't ever meet the requirements. And a lot of that is because a lot of people come onto YouTube with the wrong expectations and they don't understand that it's work. So because of that, what ends up happening is YouTube ends up hosting all of these videos. And I don't know if you've ever paid for hosting or not, but hosting, if you are hosting, anything, it can get expensive, but especially if you're doing it, for, hundreds of thousands, or millions of people. Yeah. And in addition to that, there's also the infrastructure cost in general, not just the hosting, but everything else involved, any staff involved in, running YouTube. And with all of those things, plus the development and future technology that they have to do in order to stay current, and the fact that YouTube has built their brand and built trust with their users and creators over the course of about 20 years, the reason that they ask for so much in order to get monetized is because you need to earn it. When it comes to getting monetized on YouTube. Yeah. Back in the day, you could just start a YouTube channel, you could get monetized right away. Before you even published a video, you could get monetized back in the day. Yeah. But now, with all the content on the platform and things like that, they make people earn it. And when it comes to people earning it, one of the things to think about is that if you, as a content creator, are not willing or able to put in the required time/effort/work into getting your content to the point that it's competitive enough within the system to compete next to other videos on YouTube, so that when they show it to the users of YouTube, that those users enjoy it. If you can't get to that point, then in that case, they are doing all of that hosting and everything for you for free for no reason and no outcome, and those videos are going to live on YouTube, until they delete them or something happens to YouTube. So because of that, when it comes to getting monetized, even though I know that, as a new content creator, it can be, challenging to, go through that process. But look at it more like, if I can go through the process of getting enough activity on my content, that means that I'm making good enough content that it deserves to have ads, put on it, and that I've put in the necessary work in order to meet these requirements that they have so that I can make money from YouTube. Right. So instead of looking at it as like this negative thing, look at it as like, hey, this is just something that I have to earn versus, just them just giving it to you and then you making like a few cents off of like the few views. I'm not saying you specifically, but sometimes, somebody getting a few cents off of the few views that they get. And another thing to think about there also is when it comes to YouTube, in addition to all the other things that they pay, you also have the AdSense side. So when it comes to the AdSense side, they also, have to, manage all of the things around, your channel and all that stuff as it relates to AdSense as well. So, because of that, there's just a lot involved and they make us earn it now when it comes to, new channels.
I need to show something really quick.
Yeah.
And I do this when it happens. I did not type anything in, nothing. Mm-hmm. And they have never, ever, ever recommended anything from Pi before to me. Until we talked about Pi.
Oh, that's great.
Best day in Pi.
Love it.
You cannot tell me they are not listening.
That's great.
You can't tell me. I don't care. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I mean, we're in proximity, so maybe they see me, watching clicking on a video and hovering around a video about it.
They're watching it like they're watching you and they're giving it to me or they're listening.
Yep.
I don't like that.
So really quick, so Beanie submitted a question. He says, I've been helping Kathy with her channel, and she's been helping me get back into creation by drawing live. The question is, I've been trying to help her with technical things like zooming with the camera, changing scenes. She's been using the Zoom app and StreamYard, but I'm wondering what would be more ideal for bringing in more artist guests, bringing up Be Right Back screens, etc., and having music that the audience can hear. Yeah, StreamYard would be a good solution for that. When it comes to, StreamYard, I mean, you can't really zoom with StreamYard. You're going to have to do that on the camera side. But basically, I'm not sure what you're using for a webcam. I don't know if you're using like a Logitech or if you're using a DSLR. But if you have a webcam, then that webcam probably has software attached to it, unless it's like a built-in webcam. It probably has software attached to it. And with that software and a lot of webcam software, like I know all the Logitech software, you can actually zoom, you can, correct the white balance, you can, do all those things within the software there. So basically using StreamYard in combination with that might be the win there. I don't know, does Meld? Oh, no, because Meld, I guess that it's a little bit more challenging to bring guests on.
You can do it. You can add a guest using the OBS.Ninja. You just add a room and you just create the room and get a link and drop it in as a browser source. Boom, you have a guest.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice.
It's not as easy as StreamYard is, but it's...
Yeah, because they're wanting to bring in the most amount of people.
If you want to bring in a group people, I would not recommend OBS or Meld for that. I would definitely go with something like StreamYard. EVMux, StreamYard, something along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And on that note, I want to do a couple of things. First, remember, if you are a YouTuber and you have an iPhone, I made an app for YouTubers called New Creator. You can find it at the top of the chat right now. I encourage you to check it out. There is a 7-day free trial of this so that you can go in and try it. I don't want people using it if they don't find value in it. So because of that, I made the 7-day trial completely unrestricted. So you can go in there and you can try it and do everything and get everything, all set up in there and test your thumbnails and do all the things. So check that out. You can find it either by looking for New Creator on the App Store or by clicking on the link at the top of the screen that will take you to the website that gives you more information, and there's a button on that website that will also take you to the web to the App Store. In addition to that, I do want to remind you, if you are a new content creator, this stuff can be challenging, and I want you to remember that YouTube is a learning curve, just like everything else that you do. So if you start a new job or you start a new class, if you're in school, you start a new hobby, any of that, there's a lot of different things that you have to learn in order to get up to speed with it. YouTube is the same exact way. And in addition to that, you also have, all of the skills that come along with, being a content creator as well that you have to learn. So I encourage you to, and I know it can be frustrating even when I, say this, I know that you still get frustrated, but, it can be frustrating sometimes. You can feel like you're doing all the right things, but it's just not working. But I encourage you to hang in there and just embrace the idea that you're in a learning curve. And when you find yourself hitting those walls, just think, okay, what's one thing that I know I need to work on right now that I can start working on, and focus on that thing for a while until you you get like comfortable at it and you get better at it. And by doing that one at a time, you're going to, learn how to do more and more things, and your videos will start doing better and better as you start learning, how to do those things. So hang in there. You got this. We will see you next Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern if you want to come and hang out. D.
Great stream.
Great stream.
Good job.
Everybody have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and we will see you next time.
Hit the sub button, hit the like button. If you're having fun, comment, type something. If you're laying back, leaning in, engage. Just take a second to smash the whole page.